Welcome to Tusks and Tails, where the stories run deep, the dogs run harder, and the hunts got more heart than hype. From the swamps to the hill country, we're bringing you the voices of real dog men and women who live for the chase, the bond and the bark that breaks the silence. This show is powered by the best in the game, HardcoreHogDogs.com, cut vests, collars, and gear built by dog men for dog men. Use code Tusks and Tails for a discount that'll outlast your boots. Hog Tunnel headlamps. When the lights go out, these bad boys turn the woods back on, bright, tough, and made for the thicket. 2B Hog Dogs. Two brothers, one passion, breeding heart, drive, and handle into every dog that hits the woods. Reach out to Kenneth and Tequil Smith and let them know that you heard him on this podcast. Boars and Broads, where the hog dog lifestyle meets the back road attitude. Use code TNT at checkout and wear it proud. TheBestDogProducts.com, keeping your pack healthy and ready. From flea pills to wormers and everything in between, they've got what your dogs need at prices that make sense. Use code T and T for a discount at checkout. That would be the and sign. Dirty South Calls, built for the woods, tuned by a dog man. Contact Hunter Ledger or message their page and use code T and Tails for a deal that'll make your next hunt sing. So leash up your pack, grab your light, and ride with us. This is Tusks and Tails, where every hunt tells a story and every story's got tusks.
It's a big ass one. Holy shit. That's a fucking good one.
Hello, y'all. Welcome back to Tusks and Tails. As y'all know, we're doing a giveaway right now, and y'all have been phenomenal at sharing it. Look, a little hint, or just a little piece of advice. If y'all would tag other people that haven't already been tagged, it'll help the followers get up there a little quicker. Y'all have been doing great. I mean, it's getting up there pretty quick. I didn't expect it to go that quick. Now, the quicker we get to it, the quicker the drawing happens. And not only that, but if you read deeper down, we are going to be giving away an Alpha 300i as well, or at the time, whatever the new handheld may be. And then we're debating on adding in an Alpha XL. We're going to be throwing in some stuff here and there. We're going to start doing a lot of giveaways, y'all. And I want everybody to know, every one of my followers, we gained a little bit of something, and instead of us putting it in our pocket, we returned it to our followers. So that's why we're doing the giveaway. It's because of y'all. Y'all have followed us. It, helped us a little bit, so we decided to go ahead, and we're not, like I said, we're not in it for the money. So instead of keeping any of that, we're returning the favor, and we're going to do our first giveaway. Now, as long as we get more followers, more feedback, more, just in everything in general of y'all's support, we're going to continue to do these giveaways. And, of course, they're going to get smaller. I mean, this first one, there's probably going to be hundreds of people to get drawn. But in the future, we might do, first 10 to do this is going to win this. So, I really wanted to let everybody know that, y'all, we are booming, man. I appreciate y'all's support. I absolutely cannot believe it. But, we got a guest on tonight. He is, I talked to him a little bit, man. The guy seems like he's, got a good head on his shoulders, got some intelligence behind him. Didn't talk much, but, just like the way he holds himself and he speaks, it seems like there's some intelligence there. So, maybe we can all learn something from this guy. I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself and tell us where you're from, please. And usually when we talk to people, when we ask them to tell us where they're from, they just say a town and state. Kind of give us an area of the state that you're located, if you don't mind, so we can kind of get a good, outlook on the terrain and everything.
All right, well, I'm Jac Jenkins from Oxford, Mississippi, home of the Ole Miss Rebels up here. Hotty toddy. North half of the state, kind of Pretty much, the top up here, you know, toward about an hour from Memphis, hour south of Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay. Now, what kind of dogs do you run?
Man, just depends on what game we're chasing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's hear it.
Well, I like my Plott dogs. You know what I mean? I like the Plott Hounds. But far as man, we run deer as well. You know, and we use running walkers and July hounds and crosses, but mostly registered fox. You know, running walker foxhounds. You know.
Okay. So I'm so glad, because guess what, y'all? I did not know this about him. So now we get to get some little statistics here. I hope. Do you keep any speed records of your dogs at all, by chance?
What do you mean,
as in, have you ever reset like your Garmin completely and keep track of all the distance and the speeds and?
Yeah. I've just started doing that with my hog dogs recently, just to compare. You know, and my opinion might set some people off, but you know, from what I've gathered, you know, I don't know what question you're going to ask, but I figured you was going to ask what's the speed difference between the running type hound and the tree and stock. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, yeah, but so let's not confuse people when you get into the running hound and tree and stock. Can you let's be a little bit more specific on that? Can you say like?
Well, like your Plott Hound, your blue ticks,
yep.
Your English Hound, your tree and walkers, your red bones, stuff like that. Your black and tans, you know.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be your coon hounds, you know, your tree and stock. And then far as you have your American foxhound, the running walker. That's going to be a running hound, and then you have the July hound, which is more of a wolf hound, but we've Americanized them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Most definitely. Well, yeah. Okay. I'm glad you told everybody about that, because a lot of people get confused, not more or less with the blue ticks and the black and tans and the tree and walkers, but when it comes to a Plott, some people, believe it or not, they don't know what category to put them in, whether it's tree and stock or running stock. And I'm like, I don't know where the hell you'd even get it mixed up with them being some running stock. But
right.
You know what I'm saying? All right. So do you mind, touching base a little bit about the speeds on them?
Man, from what I've gathered, there's good dogs in every breed, man, and there's fast dogs in every breed. Just kind of depends on the demeanor of the hound. You know what I'm saying? Just like somebody, as far as a person, if he gets up and wants to get after it, you know what I mean? There's hounds the same way, and then there's couch potatoes too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, for sure.
As far as the speed on, I've run in the fox pens too, but on the outside, man, running in the wild, as far as the speed, I see no difference. But when you get up to the 3-4 hour range, the running hounds are just gonna prevail because they kind of stay the same speed the whole time.
Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm not. I know I've witnessed the running hound. Like I'm not disagreeing, and I know a lot. Like you said, people are going to get pissed off by what you're about to say, but
the July now, if you speed, man, there's fast. Like I said, there's fast dogs and everything. But if you want to go 3 hour money hunt in a fox pen and win you some money, you need some dogs in July. And that's your heads up, blazing speed. For as long as he can run.
Yeah. So,
I'll be 3 or 4 hours, and then he's gonna come on in.
Wait, so you're saying what now? You're saying 3 or 4 hours? What's gonna come in?
I mean, any dog that runs as fast as he can, hard as he can the whole time, you can't do that all day.
Oh,
I don't care.
No.
But a July dog, he's gonna run as fast as he can and as hard as he can, and then when he's done, he's done.
So, where are you getting your July stock out of?
Man, there's really not much around no more. You know what I mean? There's some down like around Andalusia, Alabama. They call them July Junkies. That's what they call them. That's their kennel name, and they got some of the best in the country.
Really?
They're pretty dominant, pretty fast stuff.
Well,
pretty fast.
My question with the Julys, man, I'm very intrigued by what you're saying already. Do you believe a lot of people out there are? It's kind of, I'm more Plott world. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know anything about a July. I've been told I had a July. It wasn't worth a, yeah, but do you think it's really like I'm trying to think of the word to describe it, like over exaggerated, or not over exaggerated, like a lot of people are, oh, this is a Plott cross, overused, I guess, where multiple people say, oh, this is Plott cross. You can look at it clear as day and it's not a Plott. Do you believe that the July Hound is the same thing's happening to them, or what's your input on that?
Man, I do, but the money hunting in these pen hunts has gotten so big, so everybody's done crossed some July into their walker dogs. Pretty much everybody. You know what I'm saying? There's still some kennels that are straight running walker, and some of the best fox hunters out there, or coyote pen hunters out there, are got walker dogs. But yeah, I agree with what you're saying right there. I believe that July dog, is getting overused too much. They say they have a July walker or something, and what is that?
Yeah. No, man, it blows my mind, because in the Plott world, it's the same. It's bad. Everybody, oh, this is a Plott cross. It's a cur Plott. It's Plott and cur cross. It's like, first of all, you don't even know what the hell a cur is. You're just throwing cur out there to try to get rid of this dog. Second off, you don't even know what a Plott is. And it frustrates me so bad. Not just the Plott world, but just all of them. Just all the lines in general. Like, that's why when people talk shit on papers, it bugs the shit. I'm not saying you have to have UKC, AKC papers. I'm not saying that. I'm saying some type of reputable record behind the dog would make a lot more sense than everybody, oh, I wipe my ass with papers. Good, great deal. But the hog dog community is the absolute worst about just crossing shit and claiming it's something. I mean, it's the truth. There's no beating around the bush.
You're exactly right. Or they get a jip bred, during hunting season, because they don't watch the hounds very well, watch over their dogs very well, and they just claim, well, we're gonna say the Daddy's our best dog right there. That's what we're gonna say the Daddy is.
Yeah, and they might, and you know what that bullshit might be? It might be, for my example, 3 Plott hound, 3 males, and that 1 female, and like you said, yeah, you're gonna claim it's that one because it's gonna come out looking like it anyways, and then you're like, that fucking stock don't turn out worth the shit. Nobody wants to get a dog from you again, or whatever the case may be. It's just, yeah, man. That's why I'm big on the promoting the paper side of everything. And I don't, like I said, I don't give a shit if it's AKC, UKC. If somebody writes down on paper, on a piece of paper with some reputable, with some reputable previous bloodlines. Hey, I bred my male dog to this, my bitch here, whatever. That's respect, man. They put in the time instead of pulling up to a yard. Hey, man, this is what it is. Take it. I'm going to have more respect for somebody that's taking the time out to do that. And what I do is I throw all my fucking shot records, all the worming dates, everything onto one. I use cards. If I've only got rid of 5 puppies, and that's exactly how I did it. I put on the card exactly what they were bred to previously, and then their shots and their wormers and everything. Was on that, and I put my number on it, and I put a guaranteed date. If you don't want it, bring it back. You get your money back. It's that simple. But I don't know many people that do that now.
Right. Oh. And like you say, you don't have to be in a registry just as long as you write it down.
Exactly.
I grew up my whole life competition hunting with, everything we chased, we done it competition style, so we competed in it, and everything had to have papers. But with that being said, there's 90% of the people that have registered dogs do it the right way, and there's 10% that that false register dogs. I hate to say it, but they false register dogs, and that messes some things up.
Yeah,
it's out there.
I do. You're right. You're right. I got one on my yard right now, and I won't breed him. I have some Plott paperwork on him, and I know just by looking at him, he ain't a Plott. But we drove there. We went to pick him up. I'm not even going to tell anybody the bloodline. Because, everybody already knows what bloodline this guy told me. I think he just wanted money, and he knew I was willing to pay it. Because there for a while, I was telling my wife, look, hey, if there's any they want to get rid of $2,000 and less, I don't give a shit what as long as it's from Bayou Cajun Plott Hound, I'm buying it. I don't give a damn the price, within reason. And we were driving all over picking up these Bayou Cajuns. And, I went to pick this one up. I looked at him. I said, there's no way in hell. There's no way. I called Mr. Mike, and he's like, yeah, I did get one. This guy bought one from me. Because Mike keeps good record of his stuff. And I said, man, this ain't a Plott Hound. I'm telling you. And we drove there, so I still bought him like a dumbass. And I got back, and he's doing good, but he's not a Plott Hound. I know by looking at him. So I'm going to go ahead and get his nuts chopped off because I don't want to risk that getting into my stock. But he's a good dog. He was shitty as hell when I got him, of course. Like it always is, them finished Facebook dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's right.
But, shit, I don't. I do. Let's get into it. Do you have your average mile per hour and everything on your running stock versus your treeing stock, or?
Okay. If you can average 10 miles an hour, that is outstanding. And in any kind of terrain, where I'm at far as hills. And I'm not talking about mountains or anything like that. I'm just talking about the South, Mississippi, South Alabama, Louisiana, stuff like that. Just hard ground. If you can average 10 miles an hour, that's kind of unheard of on the outside. That is outstanding. On the running dogs, I've seen the running dogs in the pen. They get up there around 13 or 14 miles an hour for 4 or 5 hours. For 3 or 4 hours. They're really in the road too much. They're not running much game.
Thank you.
They're not running much game. All right.
That is some stuff all you listeners needed to hear from. Man, you don't know how much I respect you and how many other people are going to respect you for saying that. But please go ahead and continue. I'm sorry for interrupting. I just want to make sure everybody hears that.
And my dad has most of the running dogs. I have some too, but I've pouring all my work into my hog dogs right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's got some really, really good hounds. He's placed them in the pens. He's placed them on the outside field trials. We kill deer in front of them. He's got some really, really nice hounds that anybody would like to feed. They're averaging 10 miles an hour. He's hunting in lake bottom areas, stuff like that right there. He's got a couple that will do that, but cut over 7, 8 miles an hour. That's a good pack of hounds. They're all staying together. From 6 to 8 miles an hour, they're all staying together and driving that thing. That's really what you want. You know what I mean? I'd have 10 stay together and just pour it to him, and one get way out ahead and kind of mess the race up.
Yeah. So
my hog dogs, I'm kind of having that problem right now. I got one that it gets way out ahead of my pack. And man, he's been stopping the hogs 200 yards before the other dogs get there. And then that hog just listen to that train come driving in. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh. And then it breaks, what issue are you running into at that point?
Man, it's really not. I guess it's really not an issue. We're catching the hog, but like you said, yeah, it might break, but it's not running very far because these hogs where I hunt, they run. He's tired anyways. And it's really the young dogs and the puppies that's not hushing up. They're not hushing up when they hear him like our other dogs they're 2 to 3 years old. That's the oldest dogs we got. They're if they hear him bayed up there, they're shutting up and getting that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just have a pair that I hunt together. I have a pair, and then we have a bunch of young dogs we're trying to start right now. But that dog is breaking out there and getting in front of them. we run a hog the other night, 36 miles in 3 hours. So that tells you what he was averaging.
So, gosh damn. But let me ask this. Would you think that these people that sit here and claim they got 17 plus mile an hour dogs, do you think that's unheard of, or what would your input be on that? Because from experience,
if they run 5 an hour, they chasing the mailman up the road.
Well, the only reason I say that, man, is, you know, some people have hunted with me. They have. And these are these same people that threw these numbers around, and they got dogs from these quote-unquote badass hog doggers that you see these guys all over Facebook, man, that they buy these dogs from. And everybody knows all these people they get these dogs from. And they always claim their dogs are fast and blah, 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 and whatnot. And they come, and I'm like, hey, check your mile per hour. And they're like, well, he's here. I'm like, yeah, well, Newt Dog's up here, or Kate's up here, or whatever the case may be. And these are cur and plot crosses out of my buddy stock. And, yeah, they kind of get embarrassed a little bit. Because them 17-plus mile an hour dogs, not all of them claim 17. Some say 12, some say 13, some say 14. But when they get down in this thicket stuff, I mean, they're like, well, I got like 2.8. I'm like...
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that dog the other night, it was averaging up there around 10 miles an hour in them open woods. All right, the first 45 minutes we run that hog in the thicket, they were averaging 3 and 4.
Thank you. See, oh man, it gets on my nerve. I can really like talk to somebody that will, if they claim they keep statistics, I'll find out really quick. I'll be like, oh, you keep statistics on your dog. Well, let's talk about it. And I'm not trying to degrade them or talk bad about them, but don't talk about your dog speed unless you actually are aware of what these dog speeds are at.
Right.
But
I'll take a dog that can run the same 7 or 8 hours, you know, all day long. Give me a full day's of work more than I'll take one that'll run 20 miles an hour for an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not... Man, I ain't got to sit here and lie to you. I don't. I mean, my Newt dog finally got up there, man. He hit 4.5. And it was a 3-hour race. Well, it was 3 hours and 30-some minutes. And it was only 19 point... Trust me, I can show you everything if I had the book. I need to start keeping it on me with the podcast. But it was like 19 point some miles. And by the time I got to the bay, this will tell you how long he was baying for. His average dropped down to 2.3 mile an hour because he was standing still so long baying that hog. You know what I mean?
That's but man, people really should not be paying attention to what they're averaging miles. But I mean, it shouldn't hurt your feelings. You know what I'm saying? If you get a low mile per hour when hog hunting, because there's so, you know, stopping the game, you know, and you're doing this and you're doing, you know what I'm saying? You're walk baying, and if it's a big one, you know what I'm saying? You're doing all kind of things, you know. And a hog run, sometimes they run real tight circles in them cutovers. You know, they could running back and forth in there for a couple hours. You know, it just is what it is, you know.
You're right. And I'm glad you said that, man, because I just learned a little. I seen it on my Garmin, but what you just said made me learn a little bit more what I looked at, man. I made a huge mistake. I've always heard from people, you know, and maybe you can correct me on this. I'm asking advice from you. Talking to you already, I know you're intelligent in it, and everybody that's listening to this podcast right now is most definitely going to finish this one all the way through because you have intelligence in it, man. And just talking to you, I know you do. And Newt dog, like I said, that big ass boar hog that we bait, like he did his job 100%. Like my bulldog got fucked up twice, like bad. Dogs were getting stitches. I mean, it was a really bad deal. And so I went ahead. I hate to fucking admit this shit, but Newt dog was out there doing circles, and everybody, you know, that hunts around the world swears up and down when dog starts doing circles, it's a hawk or it's a deer. You know, when it's seeming like it's coming back or whatever the case may be. And if anybody's going to sit here and argue and say that's bullshit, I know they're a damn liar because I've heard it from like 95% of the people I hunted with. So I started telling him, I said, motherfucker, because I had a puppy out there with him. And I started telling him, I said, gosh damn it, I hope he's not acknowledging this puppy because he knows better than to run a deer. I'm toning the fuck out of him, and this dog is tone broke. He will not come back. So he gets bait up, whatever. You know, it ends up being hour and a half, 2 hours later. Finally, we knew it was a hog, whatever. We get to the hog. Hog fucked everything up. But what I'm getting at is the looking at the garment and assuming without me actually knowing I thought it was a deer. And I could have fucked my dog up bad if I would have decided to put some electricity to him, and I didn't. So do you mind, touching base what you could fuck up on a dog by trying to correct him when you don't even know what's going on?
Yeah, that is very, very important. And I try to do all my training at the house. I try not to associate, with hunting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've got onto my dogs out in the woods. I'm very guilty of that, but I try to do all my correcting at home. And people are like, well, how do you do that on a deer? Man, I don't. I let the dog do what he wants to do, and when we go to catching hogs, if they like catching hogs, they're going, they're going to pick hogs over deer, that's just how I let them do it. I let my puppies run loose till they get 6 months old, and they're already running when I take them to the woods, and they might jump a deer and run it, but most of the time, if we get on a hog, they just fall in with the hog dogs, and they kind of just break themselves,
Yeah.
Because a trash breaking a dog or going to put electricity to a dog, that kind of breaks his spirit. He's not going to run that game is hard.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
That electricity is rough on them. People don't believe it, but it's I'm not saying it hurts them. I'm just saying, but as far as like a memory, they're like, man, I got shot when I was in the woods. I don't want to do this at all anymore.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why I started buying T5s and pulling prongs out. I did because, man, I'll be out there in the woods and I'll be like, everybody can sit here and claim like, oh, I'm never going to get mad. I'm never going to get frustrated. That's fucking bullshit. That is bullshit. And what really changed my mind, and maybe you have a similar story, I watched a hog swim. I watched all my dogs go behind it. So I knew for a fact they were on a hog. I was like, I'm not shocking them off it. I was on the phone with my wife. I said, this fucking hog just jumped in. The dogs are right behind it. This hog was not even 60 pounds. I'm not lying to you. And I had, like, my good dogs. Like, my best 4 dogs on this hog. And one is, like, I'm not lying. When I drop her, she'll sit at my feet. But once my dogs start barking, she goes to it. I'm not shy to admit that. She's fucking fast as shit. I mean, her averages are anywhere from 9.5 to 9.8. But that's her. She'll sit at my feet all day long. That's just her running straight to it to try to stop the hog. Once the hog stopped, bayed and tied, she's done. I mean, she doesn't relay. I'm just being honest with you. But I knew they was on a hog. That hog was 7.5 hours later on that little ass hog by the time we finished it. Most people would have started toning their dogs, shocking them, getting them the hell out of there. Gosh damn it, they're not fucking running anything. You know what I'm saying?
Man, a hog will run. People don't understand how good a hog will run, and they're smart, man. A hog will double back. He'll do all that stuff. But no, I'm not shocking my dogs, making them quit doing anything out there in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like making them come back to me, or if I'll tone break them in the yard on a rope. I'm not doing that out there in the woods. I don't want to create any bad habits.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: do you believe speed has anything to do with catching a hog?
Yes, I do. But I also, let me tell you this: a tree and stock hound is plenty fast enough to catch a hog. Anywhere you want to go. Yeah. Anywhere you want to go. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? But yeah, speed. I mean, you can't. Speed's got to be in there somewhere, man. Not on every hog, but some of these experienced, hard running hogs that I like to go after and I like to catch. That put up a good run and a good fight. You got to have a dog that runs to catch. And that anything I do, if I'm rabbit hunting, coon hunting, hog hunting, deer hunting, I want a dog that runs to catch.
I agree. I agree. Now, as in speed wise, what would you say you're required? Just out of curiosity for everybody out there, what would you say the speed on a dog should be to actually finish out a hog?
Man, really need to stray away from the miles per hour deal on the Garmin because it's hard, because it just depends on the game. You know what I'm saying? It depends on the animal itself. It really just depends on the animal itself. But the dog's got to have some athleticism to itself to be a hog dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people use cold trailing, dogs, real cold trailing dogs and stuff to them, and stuff like that. But as far as, if you're talking about just one dog doing it itself, yeah, he's got to have a real good nose. He's got to have some good speed to him, got to have some athleticism. Man, so for a dog to do it all by itself anywhere you go, he's a freak. You know what I mean? Hog hunting's hard. I've done it all. Hog hunting's hard.
Oh yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because I can't tell you. Actually, I have a something I want to talk with you tonight. I'm glad you're on here to talk to about this. I don't know. I could have picked a few other guests, but I was like kind of worried about talking to it with you. Shoot, I'm talking with you now, and I'm starting to realize quite a bit. But hog
hunt I know least about. hog hunt but about.
Well, let's talk about, before we get into that, what started you into hog hunting? What got you into it?
All right, well, we'll back on up and start out when I first started getting into dogs, because that's what kind of really led me into the hog.
Let's do that.
When I come into this world, that I had dogs there to hunt. My dad coon hunted for a living. He competition coon hunted. That's what he done. And so when I was old enough to walk and go, that's what I did. And got to give all credit to him for teaching me how a hound's supposed to operate. Because competition coon hunting, you got to have a hound that operates the right way to win money fast. You know what I'm saying? So all credit to him for teaching me how a hound is really supposed to operate. But anyways, got coon dogs. And I coon hunted growing up. And I was about 13 or 14 years old, and I was coon hunting on the spot. And me and a couple buddies about the same age as me. And not far behind the friend's house we were at. And we turned loose 3 dogs, and there was a Walker dog, a black and tan, and a red bone. And pretty good coon dogs, Like we kill coons with them. Just not no competition style dogs, but pleasure dogs. You could shoot some coons out with them. And they got in there, treed. But I knew that my dog wasn't treeing just right. He wasn't. I could tell them dogs wasn't looking up. I could tell they was barking on the ground. You know what I mean? I could, I just know from hunting dogs. I just knew they wasn't barking up. And we got in there, and they had about 150-pound sow bayed. First time I've never seen a hog before. And we had a 22 rifle, and we killed that hog. And them dogs was just, eating him up. And I said, man, I think I would like to run these things and catch them. And it was a few years later, when I got my driver's license, before I got my first hog dog.
Huh. So, after that, did you run into anything that maybe made you think, hey, I don't want to hog hunt no more, or I want to go back to coon hunting? What were you thinking?
Man, I thought it was the most awesome thing a young fella could do.
Yeah.
I thought, it was just awesome. The adrenaline, you know what I mean? I've caught a bunch of, I treated many coons, so I was I'm not saying I was over it, but, it's just different, running in there on a rank boar hog and legging him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, let me ask you this. Where'd you get your first hog dog from?
Well, I had just a bunch of junk. But my first true hog dog.
Yeah, let's say that. Your first true one. The one that actually worked for you.
My first hog dog, he was a blackmouth cur, lavender breast blackmouth cur called Rebel. And I got him from a guy up here in Oxford named B.J. Tudor. And he was pretty good dog. Pretty good dog. He wouldn't fit in my pack now, but then I caught hogs with him the way I hunted then in high school.
Uh-huh.
Hunting out of my truck, parking on the side of the road, and just walking in, him and a bulldog.
Yeah, yeah. So, after high school and everything, you of course you grew up, you got a life, you're how is everything starting to go? You know what I mean? Like, are you getting your own? Are you starting to look for your own stock? Are you breeding your own stock? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm crossing my own stuff. I'll tell you where. Shortly after the Rebel dog, after he went on, shortly after that, I got a dog out of Bayou Cajun Plott. He's a Plott Hound out of Bayou Cajun Plott and Ramagassan. I got him when he was about 20 months old. And that's what hooked me on the Plott Hounds, and been breeding him to everything I could get my hands on up here. Because I still had him in high school as well. I was about a junior in high school when I got him, and he's 10 years old now. Yeah, so that's what I'm hunting stuff off of him, and just grade plot females up here and stuff like that. I bred him to red bones and bred him to just other stuff that's worked, and that's what I got now, and I'm just crossing it with my Plott dogs, and that's pretty much what I got.
So, I mean, how's he turning out for? I mean, is he your lead dog, or?
Man, I don't hunt him no more. I ain't hunted him in about 3 years. I've hunted him once or twice, but I've just really been trying to get pups off of him, you know what I mean? He throws really, really gritty stuff, and it's hard to keep him alive.
Yeah, especially, I know.
I got two off of him right now. One of them is the one that has the breakaway speed, and the other one, I haven't talked about him because he's been hurt. He's been hurt, so I haven't. He has that real breakaway speed too, but he's just not as good as the other dog. Domino and Crow is what I call them. They're cross dogs, but they're pretty nice dogs. They just don't have the nose that the full ones do.
Oh shit. I got you. Now let's talk about your puppies. How do you start them out? What do you do?
Well, man, when I wean them off the mama, I put them in a big pen, a big 50 by 50 pen, let them grow up as stout as they can. When they get probably about 3 months old, 4 months old, probably 4 months old, I take them up to my house and I turn them out. I got coyotes and red fox that run around, and deer and whatever else. And we got a few yard dogs, a beagle and a walker dog that runs around, and they'll go running with them. And when I see them running, I'll pick them up, put collars on them, and go to handling them, and then take them a hog hunt. And they're already running when I take them. I ain't got to worry about them starting.
Let me ask you, what age do you start giving them shots at that age? Shots and wormer? Let's cover that real quick. What, like on your puppies?
I'll tell you what I do. I use Uncle Jay's all wormer. It's great on puppies. Uncle Jay's all wormer. You just do what, it's got instructions on the back. You just, give it. But I start as soon as they open their eyes, about 2 weeks old, start worming them. And, I worm them every 2 weeks until, they get off their mama, and I give their first shot at 6 weeks old, and I give them one at about 9 weeks old, and then I give them another around 12. Okay. And then they'll need another one when they get about 4 weeks old. 4 months old.
Yeah.
4 months old.
Yeah. Well, that's good stuff. Now let's hear a good one. Let's hear something growing up. Let's hear a good growing up story. Maybe with your daddy or with an uncle. I don't know if you got uncles or anything, but let's hear a good one.
Man,
not a funny one. Let's not hit a funny one or crazy one or anything like that. Let's let's hit a one of your younger stories that you really remember.
Man, I hunted. Like I said, my parents were split growing up, and I lived with my mom till I was about 15 and 14 or 15. But I just had, like I said, I just really had junk up there, getting whatever I could get my, hands on. Didn't have a lot of money. Mama, she was single, so we didn't have a lot of money, and I just could, got whatever old men would give me, and hunt like that. So I hunted by myself a lot up there as far as on dog hunting, because her daddy, my grandpa, he was a great hunter, but he was a steel hunter. He had squirrel dogs, stuff like that. So, never did get to hog hunt or do much stuff, adventure stuff with dogs with them, like that. Pretty much it's been me and my buddies all, you know what I mean? My dad trained me, as far as how to handle a dog and how to coon hunt and stuff like that. I don't know of a story that would be appropriate for the program.
Fucking tell it. It's appropriate. I promise you. I mean,
man,
come on. I ain't worried about it.
The best story I can tell you just happened not too long ago.
Not the best one. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear let's give us one from before, and we'll get into those. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. One of your beginning hunts that really sticks in your mind.
All right. Well, it's a competition coon hunt. What about that?
That's fine. Let's hear it.
All right. It's up here at the Winter Classic in Batesville, Mississippi. I was, I don't know how old I was, man, but it's in my mind. I was old enough to handle a dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was a young kid. And, been preparing for this hunt for months. My daddy got me a good dog. She tree coons right. She'd bushwhack them. What I mean, she'd just run through the woods wide open and hit them and tree them. You know what I mean? And she'd have her coons, so been preparing, been hunting her up, been hunting this spot just like I would be, hunting during this hunt. When you draw out in competition coon hunt, the ones don't know, you draw out in a 4-dog cast. And you go out and it's 4 different handlers and, you compete to win that hunt. But anyway, when I was hunting them woods, just like I wanted to hunt in that competition hunt. Well, we got down there we all drawed out and got down there to the hunt and to the woods we were hunting. And, we turned loose and I had first strike, first tree, had a coon, everything back there, Did that same thing for 3 or 4 times down through there. And I ended up having 550 plus. That's what I had, 550 points. And the closest thing to me had 325 points. Right? Well, we turned loose this last time. And she goes right over here. Everything goes right. They all go by there. These 3 go right. She wheels around here left, not 200 yards from us, slams tree. And I let her tree there for a minute to see if any, because I went in the hunt. I don't want to jump the gun. And if she ain't got a coon, then I take minus. But anyways, I let her tree there for a minute. And nothing comes around, so I tree her. We walk to her. And it's a blowed over tree, broke off the top with a big nest up top. And I tied her back, and the judge told me we could shine the tree. And seen that nest up there. Well, I grabbed my coon squaller and started blowing it. Well, the coon peeked up over the top. Well, they come hollering at me, you're disqualified. Well, the rules, them other dogs wasn't treed. They was on the ground still running, and I was the rules that went along with this hunt. I blowed the squaller and made their dogs come in, and they scratched me and disqualified me. But that's the story that's pretty much stuck with me forever, and I'll never forget it.
God damn.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that sucks.
And that was a big hunt. That was the big hunt. That was the Winter Classic. That is a humongous hunt,
Wow. That is, that, I don't know much about it, but I can just imagine. I know that sucks.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was terrible. And I was a young kid, too, and I was like, man, I choked. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah, I would, but I was more mad at myself than anything because I knew the dog won the hunt fair and square and won the cast, won that night fair and square. And I just messed up, But that's messed up, bro. That they ought to change it. I ain't trying to make excuses, but you ought to be a bloody squaller. You know, them dogs are not coming over anyways. They ought to go treat their own coon.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's a big thing too in coon hunting. You want independent dogs. You know, in hog hunting, you kind of want dogs that pack up.
Yeah.
Two different deal.
Yeah. No, I understand completely. Now, all right. Well, let's most badass story that you could ever tell about hog hunting.
Man, it might not be very cool or badass to some folks, but to me, it was awesome, and it was very badass to me. Some people might not know, but Jackson Dart, who was quarterback for the Ole Miss Rebels here in the town that I live in, who's now the quarterback for the New York Giants in the NFL. He plays professional football now, and I got the opportunity to take him hog hunting, and what a great guy. And man, we'll just get down in there and go to work, man. People don't you know, you don't need to judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? On all the you wouldn't think he might be the hunting type, but he is an outstanding hunter, and he's killed a lot of cool animals, and he was big help in the hogwoods that day, man. Started out, we met at my buddy Eli Acker's camp, who played offensive line for Ole Miss, and played with Dart, and we left his little camp house, man, and headed back there to the back, and old TJ, like you said, it comes back to that dog that I got from Mr. Mike down there. I didn't personally get him from him, but it come from him anyways. And he started sticking that head out the side by side straight up in the air, and I knew there was a hog right there close. And it was freezing cold, and started pouring down rain, like sleeting almost. And sucker bait a hog 100 yards off the road right there, and we sent the Bulldogs in and caught it. And we got in there and got it caught, and Dart helped us drag that thing out, and it was just a big hand. And before you know it, about 500 yards on down to the bottom, TJ is relayed and bait another time. When we got there, it was a really, really, really nice boar hog, and he helped us get that thing over on his side and got it caught. And man, I just think that's the most badass story I can remember. Taking Jackson Dart hunting, that's pretty awesome there, and just a great guy, man, a super good guy.
So, man, he got to witness a Plott Hound. We know the best hog dogs there are. So, an NFL quarterback witnessed a Plott Hound take care of that for him.
Yes, sir.
I love
He sure did. He sure did. There was some blackmouth curs there on scene too. They were on scene too, and
I like that. That's good.
You know, and actually a dogo caught that big bad hog, but I'm not gonna go all into that. But a dogo was there. It wasn't mine, but a dogo did catch that big bad hog, and with the help of TJ, and but I will say this: I ain't talking crap. I'm just stating facts. TJ bait both of them hogs and made everybody look silly when he done it, and Jack Dart got to witness it.
That's freaking, dude, I'm sorry, y'all, that's the most badass story we've heard on this podcast so far. NFL quarterback witnessing a Mike Cauley bloodline dog hammer out a hog, y'all. Man, that is a freaking phenomenal story. So, but let's give.
Body. That's when around here we say shock your body when something like that happens.
Okay. Let's give some credit to your other buddies though as well. You said there was a lineman for Ole Miss, or what did you say?
Yeah. There was a great friend of mine, not a good, but a great friend of mine, Eli Acker. He played for Ole Miss for 5 years, and he was offensive line and protected Dart. And then another buddy, Caleb Warren, he was the starting center for Dart. And another one, Reese McIntyre, he was played center and offensive line as well. Those three guys right there, good friends of mine, man. Eli Acker, he hog hunts with me. We got dogs together, and I got him in this dog running stuff, and he loves it. He loves it.
Man, maybe we can get them on soon. I would like to hear y'all man, you know, I got some groups of buddies that are coming into these podcasts in the future, and I want to hear these group conversations as well. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we can get y'all as a group sometime.
Yeah, man. They can tell you how they got converted from, you know, never being around a dog their whole life to now they love dog hunting. They'd rather go run a hog than sit in a deer stand any day. You know what I mean? It's just what they love, and then they see what the hound dog world is about, or just the dog world in general. They see what the dog world is about. It's not just a bunch of people that cut barbed wire fences and trespass on people's property and just run everybody's deer off. And, you know, they see it, and they understand it. And, you know, Eli, big deer hunter, real big deer hunter, good deer hunter. And, you know, he knows them dogs don't bother, you know, them deer. He's got his hounds right out there, and he sees that them deer just come right up there and eat in the yard by his hounds, and he knows it. He understands it now, and everybody understands it now, and he's doing great with it, man. He's taking it and running with it, doing great with his dogs. Got another two more kennel partners that help me, Bray Stazer and Jacob Clark, and they're doing great with it too. You know, man. They're doing great. They're helping me out. We're trying to build something here. You know, we're building a team of hog dogs, so we can get, you know, we're just trying to get more places and getting better places to hunt. And we've built a team, and that's where we're at right now. Built my team around some great people and some good dogs that come from my collie.
Man, I love to hear that. Before we get too much further, shit, we're almost halfway there. You got any shout outs before we get into these badass hog hunting stories?
Man. As far as like, man, I give all the shout outs to the people that's presented the dogs to me, probably my dad, my granddad, you know, and stuff like that. And thank God for allowing me to do it. Yes. To do this every day. I'm crazy about a dog, man. That's all I think about. I can't concentrate at work. That's all I think about is a dog.
Yes, sir. I understand completely. Trust me. I'm like, God damn, this whole working thing's getting in the way of my hunting career. You know what I mean?
All I think about is what cross can I make next to make the next best thing. You know, what can I do, you know, to make this better? What can I do, you know? What can I do to have an overall, you know, great pack, you know?
You know, I love that you say that, because you want to know one of the biggest things that bothers me, like, so bad. So, I'm big, and you probably have a good story to tell about this one as well, but I'm very big on, like, make your own shit. You know what I mean? Work your own dogs. You know, I tried the whole buying dogs thing, and I was giving away these quote-unquote good dogs that I bought. They worked out for other people, whatever. But I'm glad I never got a dog that was good. I'm glad I made my own shit. Like, I worked on them, and I made them to where they're at now. But, like, I've had people reach out to me left and right, man. For example, like, a guy, I don't know, a few weeks ago was trying to get rid of a couple of collars, and I buy them all over because I refurbish collars and everything. So I try to keep a lot of collars in stock. And I messaged him, I said, hey man, I'll go ahead and buy them, whatever, and here's my price. He said, well man, you know, I seen you got some brindle dogs. He's like, maybe we can work out a deal. And I said, well, I don't know about that. And he's like, what do you mean, you ain't got no puppies? And I was like, yeah, I got puppies. And then he responded again. He said, but I'm looking at your Plott hounds. And I was like, I mean, what do you want? I said, I got puppies, like not even, you know, about 6 months old. I'd maybe consider something there. And he's like, oh no, I'm not doing that. He's like, I'm interested in that Newt dog or that Kate dog. I blocked that motherfucker so fast. I was like, you have got to be shitting me. You are that shit. Oh, well, actually, before that, I got to back up a little bit because I messaged him again, and I told him, I said, nah, man, I'm willing just to pay cash. And he's like, nah, man, I'll just trade you for these dogs. We're talking 2 collars, 2 TT15s. I'm like, are you smoking some shit? You know what I mean? How do you feel about people like that just have no interest in starting their own shit? It's always some crazy story. Man, I lost all my dogs. But you also see them people constantly posting dogs for sale. Do you ever see anything like that, or you run into those issues?
Man, I think the people who don't make their own stuff can't. They don't know how. You know what I mean? That's what I think. But no, I don't. But no, I don't. I don't think much on it really. It don't. But people that don't know how and want to know how, you just don't need to be kennel blind. You know, you need to trust what you got in your kennel. You know, you need to hunt it, and you know, and if it's putting meat on your table, you know, if you're catching game with it, you know, breed good dogs to good dogs, and you're supposed to get good dogs. I mean, that's what I do. And I'm not saying I got good dogs. I'm not saying that every puppy I have is good, but that's what you hope for. You just breed a good dog to a good dog and hope you get a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all, you know.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'm guilty as shit of it. I'm like, right now, I'm keeping everything though, but I'm breeding some shit on my yard that I don't know if it's gonna be good. But I'm keeping all of them. It's not like I'm doing like this and then selling these puppies or getting rid of them, but
you don't ever know. You just hope for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a good idea in the back of my mind, and I'm like, fuck, if I don't do it now, it's going to be another 2-3 years before I can even start these puppies.
That's right. I mean, I bred that Bayou Cajun dog, TJ, I call him. I mean, he was a phenomenal hog dog, but I bred him to some I'll tell you, some mediocre females, and man, I got 2 that I call outstanding dogs so far as running a hog and baying a hog. Yeah, they're very, very nice. But they're not the best fine dogs. They're not very good at finding them, but they're pretty good at stopping them. But you know, that's all. That was two different crosses, and only them 2 are the only ones that made it, one out of each litter. You know what I'm saying? So
damn.
I had better luck breeding a good dog, a really, really good jet to a good male. You should get some good pups.
Yeah, my buddy, I'm just different. My buddy swears that too, and I'm like, I don't know, man, because the best dog I've ever owned, I mean, it has nothing to do with hog dogs, but came out of the 2, like, yeah, famous for fucking good looking and fat and shit, but
right,
absolute phenomenal dog, comes out of literally no type of, like the most shittiest hunting stock you could ever think. And I you know, I get in arguments with people a lot. You know, you can't put it in a dog. Well, I believe if you grow a bond with the motherfucker and put some effort into it, I think you really can. And
yeah. Like you said, if he's got it in him, and I'm not meaning his grandparents were hunting dogs and stuff like that. I mean, that's going back to there's good dogs in every breed. You know, it just depends on the dog. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the dog, man. If he's got it in him, all you got to do is just take him, and if he's got it in him, he'll show you. Put a little time into him, he'll show you.
Yeah, but most people don't even give him that time to show. They're like, oh, well, my best dog will not bark at a hog in a pen. I don't know if yours is the same way or whose is, but I promise nobody would buy my best dog if they come to see him at a pen. They have no interest at a pen.
My TJ dog, he'll walk up there and pee on the wire, you know, with a hog in the pen. You know, he's like, I don't know nothing about this, you know.
I remember I was in a tournament and my in-laws have a hog in a pen. It's just a little fucking, I don't know, domesticated hog, whatever, a pig. And we drove by, before we ever hunted together, he's like, man, your dogs ain't rigging that hog. I said, well, fuck, is that a bad thing? Man, I'm telling you, this motherfucker ran all over my property, like the property I have leased to try to catch hogs. And I'm not talking shit, it's just true facts. And he hunted all of it. And he's like, man, just keep them open dogs put up. I don't want no open dogs out here. And I'm trusting him because I'm newer to this shit. And so I ended up going out. I was there still. He put his dogs up. I cut mine out. I told my wife I sat in the car, it was cold out, and they were hunting I said 10 minutes, we'll drive down the road, we'll cast them out again. And the alarm was going off in the car, and I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll get out. The Garmin wasn't going off because the antenna was blocked, the reception. And I step out, and them motherfuckers are bait up on a hog. And he said, man, you can't talk shit on my dogs. They don't cast out as far as yours. And I mean, it was every excuse in the fucking book. Every excuse. And I was like, God damn, dude, I'm not talking shit. It's just truth. But it's funny because he was talking shit on all my dogs, like, immediately, because they would not bark at a hog in a pen.
Yeah, but barking has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? If he's got enough foot to him, he can bark all he wants to.
Yeah. Well, let's hear let's hear a story that might have made you think you didn't want to hog hunt anymore. Do you got any like that?
Yeah. Well, I've had my whole pack just about demolished, and then I was just like, have 5 or 6 real good hounds, and that TJ dog I got that come from Mr. Mike down there, he was one of them, and walk up there to the bay, and he's the only one, left, and you're like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I think I might just let him be a yard dog or something now, you know what I mean? But that's when I was, probably a senior in high school or something like that, but it happens when if you want to catch big game and if you want to catch some cool stuff, it happens.
Yeah. So, tell us the story about it. I mean, what all happened?
Man, I got some buddies up in Knoxville, Tennessee. They come down and hunt with me every year. If they don't have dogs or anything, they just we guided them 1 year turkey hunting down here, and then after that, they come back hog hunting every year. I kind of take them hog hunting in the middle of February every year. We were trying to kill a hog, man, over here on a club of mine, and we could not find a hog for nothing. And then there was another man up here that was hog hunting down the road, and we've been talking. He said if he found something that he would call me. You know what I mean? Because them guys were leaving that day and they wanted to catch pig. And when he called me and said he's been running a good boar hog over there for a minute, and they ain't stopped it yet. Well, I drove over there, pulled up on him, and the dogs are just, not 300 yards in front of him running, and I dumped to them. And when they went in there, they made him blow out of there. And he run about 4 miles or 5 miles, just straight line through the woods as a crow flies, just beelined out of there. And man, it took us forever just to keep up, to get over there, trying to keep up with them. And that TJ dog was just annihilating the race. He was just, that's what I'm kind of talking about, a busted race. He was just, this is when he was in his prime. He was up there on that hog. He had his eyes on him, and he was running him hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And them red tick gyps and red bones, they was just hoping that he'd stop him pretty quick because they were getting tired. And he finally stopped the hog, and they got there, and we pulled up, man, with the bulldogs. They wasn't 80 yards down there, and the dogs were baying. They just, he was baying, and then he just shut up. And I was like, man, looking on my Garmin, they're all treed. And I'm like, man, they're all treed. Maybe they're just tired. They're just panting. And he just walks out. He just comes walking out, and looks like he's got a Walmart sack hanging up from under him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just got the liner or what?
Yeah, just a thumb poke, man. I'm talking about just a thumb poke, and it just come out. He's had this happen twice. I'll tell you another story. But anyways, just poked him right there, and they just popped right out, And they like I said, it wasn't too bad, just a little bag. The first time he had it done, it was way worse, but it was super thick, man. He come out to us, and we was having to crawl down there to him. And got down there, the hog was gone, and the dogs were just, laid out. Yeah, done.
Damn.
Done. So that kind of that ruined the whole. They didn't get to kill a pig, and that day they killed one the day before or something. But the second guy that was supposed to kill one, he didn't get to kill one, and I didn't have any more hog dogs.
God damn. See, that's I'm telling you, man, it's weird when people come and hunt with you or something. Like, I had a buddy from Kansas come down and hunt with me. He ain't never been on one, and they caught small ones. And he's like, man, I want to catch a monster. I was like, be careful what the fuck you wish for. And sure as shit, man, I went out and gosh damn, my wife still hates me to this day for that. And it was the morning of my wedding. It was my best man, me, and my groomsmen. 2 of my groomsmen. And her bulldog got killed.
Man.
Yeah, it was a fucking train wreck. So she cried all fucking night. You know, we're fighting at 4 in the fucking morning, 5 in the morning. We got to be up at 6. I'm fucking drunk as shit because I was partying with my groomsmen. And my best man's out there trying to stop the argument. And we got to go into church the next day acting like we're all getting along and shit. It's like, fuck. You know, her bulldog just got killed. Like, she is depressed. Her fucking eye, like her, you know how she says, I don't give a fuck. I don't look at women's makeup. I don't give a shit if they wear makeup or not. And she's like, well, my eye was all sagging. It looks like shit because I was crying all fucking night because he killed my dog. And I'm like, oh my, you know how that goes. And, man, I love that dog. But it's just something every fucking time there's a big event and I take someone from somewhere else, some shit happens like that.
Yeah. Man, them dogs, especially a bulldog, man, you know, you hate when people think it's terrible. Stuff we do is terrible and we make them do it, you know. Man, that bulldog, you know, he'll die for you out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, and you know what? Fuck all them people, and I've done made that up in my mind. I know it. Fuck all of them. You know why? Because they're the fucking piece of shits that didn't go rescue that dog that was going to get euthanized. I fucking did. I feed that dog every fucking day. I feed those dogs every fucking day that I went and rescued that were going to be euthanized from a fucking shelter. So if they got a problem with it, you piece of shits go rescue fucking 20 of them a day. You know what I mean? Fuck
Right.
all of them. That shit pisses me off more than anything. Oh, you fucking put these dogs at... No, I'm giving them dogs a second fucking chance. If they happen to fucking die, I gave them another fucking chance. You go buy fucking 20 of them then. You spend the money on them. Then you got to take them to the fucking vet. Pay for it. They claim up and down that they cover all these costs. That's bullshit. That is complete fucking bullshit. We've rescued 4 this year. 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly. But I'm not going to lie. We have our way of fucking doing it. And guess what? Them dogs are great. They're taken way better care of than they ever fucking were before. Ever. And,
Right.
and humane societies and shelters and shit, the second they find out you're a hog dart, fuck no. We'd rather put this dog down. Dude, I've got a dog that this motherfucker is the happiest dog to catch a fucking pig. When you got him at the shelter, he was cowered down, real scared, standing in the back, even though these shelter people, quote unquote, are the best people to take care of them. Fuck all of them. I don't fuck all of them. If they don't agree with hog hunting and they're not willing to give dogs to hog hunters, other than bait dogs, I get that. You know, there's people in Houston and shit, they'll do free giveaways or whatever and all these fucking... I don't agree with bait dogs at all, period. Zero tolerance for that shit. And they'll go get a dog and, you know, use it as a bait dog. I don't agree with that. But if you have a true legitimate guy who runs hog dogs, you can go look at his kennels and say, all right, anytime we're in a bind, we'll go ahead and give you the, you know, this dog or this dog if it's about to get euthanized. My wife and I will never go pick up any dog unless we're looking at it and we decide, all right, we'll go ahead and take it. It's got to be about 30 minutes before it's about to get euthanized. And she'll set a timer on her phone and she'll call him, hey, I'll be there. And she'll go there and pick up that dog. And we've rescued 4 this year that way. And they are living the luxury fucking life. They get fed good. It's not some random fucking dog feed that's donated to the piece of shit shelter they're at. It's not just shit. You know, they get shots. They get wormer. They look good. They look better than what they were. I could show you before and after pictures of 3 bulldogs we've rescued. And they're all alive, doing great. Loving life. But they've all would have been euthanized. Every single one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, But let's go ahead and hear. You got something. Let's hear a crazy one. You got a crazy story?
Man, I really don't. Man, I got something. Yeah. I guess I do. It's not really crazy, but it's kind of can be a learning curve here on what to do when you your first time running up on a big old hog.
Let's hear it.
I failed to do this properly. Me and a fellow was hunting, and man, it was right when I first started hogging. Like I said, I had some junk. I was just going with a guy, and he was a young guy too. And we turned the dogs loose, and we just walked behind the dogs. And we didn't have no buggies or no four wheelers. We just had a truck, and we just walked behind the dog. And we were in some nasty pine, swampy, real thick pines with some swamp mixed in it, man. And I'm talking about thick pines, not tall, maybe 10 or 12 foot tall, like cut over like pines, and you had to crawl through there to the bay, and they were like 800 yards, man, through this junk, out in the middle of it. And we get up there and we send a bulldog, and, this was the first hog I really, sent a bulldog to. And I've hunted for a long time and never seen a hog this big again, And anyway, the bulldog went in there and nailed the hog. All the bay dogs clung to him too. And we were crawling to him, and I crawled in there to him, and I just stabbed the meat. Now I would never do this, but I just crawled in there to him without legging him, and I just stabbed, just tried to stab him. And him not being leg, he took off with the bulldog and the bay dogs, everything, and just. I mean, he cleared a high. We could stand up and walk out of there when he got through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He really tore the thicket up and took the bulldog with him, and the bulldog is like MIA for a while. And the next day somebody leaves a shirt right there. We parked the truck. The next day the bulldog come out there, but that's really probably the craziest time, man. I really can't explain how it went down, but. Yeah, I was on my hands and knees crawling in there, and I just kind of poked that knife in there, and it didn't work out too good. But it could have turned out really, really bad. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. If he wanted to turn toward me, you know what I mean? I mean, he had knives hanging out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, he could have fucked you up.
Man, I don't know what I was thinking. I was probably 16 years old, 15. I don't know what I was thinking, but that's what I done. And he was a monster hog, but. Yeah, that happened. But I haven't really had any crazy stories, man. Like I said, just I've caught some hogs behind my dog since I started. I have done that. I haven't caught a lot, but I've caught some, and I just love doing it.
Well, let's hear another one. Let's hear something. You ever had one with your buddies where you were like fucking super excited, like. Hell yeah, we just fucking caught this one. And it might be like, because it was a 4-hour race or a 5-hour race. You're glad it was finished out. Whatever. Let's hear one of those.
All right. Well, this time last year, Samuel Boutwell and his brother come up here and stay with me. Samuel and Caleb Boutwell. They come up here and stay with me. And Samuel's a real knowledgeable. Them two guys are real knowledgeable about a hound as well. They come up here and stay with me and went home.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but they run Plott, or no. What does Samuel run? I think he reached out one time to me.
He might have been on the
Dixie Doggers?
I believe so.
Yeah, or we were going to hunt a tournament together or something. Do you, what kind of dogs does he run?
He's got hounds and, Plott hounds and all types of hounds.
Okay.
He's got real good hounds.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
But we were hunting up here about an hour north of the house, and not really running type hogs, but they'll run a few hours. You know what I mean? They're not just what I call the runningest hogs there is, but I had Samuel with me, so I wasn't too worried about it. But anyways, I let them turn loose first. I let them turn loose, and Samuel's dogs went and bait a hog. And we caught it, and I turned mine out while his were baited, and they went and jumped their own hog. When we got done catching that hog, that first hog, we got back and got over there by mine. They done got out of pocket, and they were running the hog. And Samuel and them cast to them dogs. And right there where they crossed the gravel road, my dogs done got across it pretty good ways. And Samuel and them put down on that track, and their dogs took it real well. And like you said, went in there to my dogs. Well, when they got about to my dogs, mine just turned around and come right back through Samuel's dogs and coming back toward that road. My two that I hunt together all the time, I call them Domino and Marmaduke. And I said, they've done quit. I said, they have quit this hog. And because Samuel and them are still boiling up through there. And I said, man, mine have quit. And mine crossed that road at the same spot. And I said, let's go back around over and let me see what them dogs are doing. Well, when we get to where they crossed that road, the exact same spot, mine are open and barking, going back down their track the other way. Done come back, done cross the same crossing right back down the road. And Samuel and them said, well, their dogs done turned and started coming back. And Samuel and them also had two dogs kind of that stayed around the truck where we first cast. They had two young dogs that stayed over there, and that's kind of where my dogs were headed. Well, they heard my dogs coming back over toward the truck, and they went to them. And Samuel said, Jack, your dogs has got to be running. He said, because them puppies over his truck, they going to them. I said, well, let's get over there and see. And we pulled up in the middle of a big field that had a pond out in the middle of it. And the dogs were going into the pond on one end. It's not very big, but big enough where the hog was all the way across on the other side and they couldn't see it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We pulled up. We didn't see the hog. We seen the dogs going in the pond. I said, well, yeah, they done quit. They going down there to get them a drink of water. And we turned side by side off, and they're barking. And I'm like, what are they doing? I was like, they done drowned the hog. They done drowned him. And my buddy says, no, look, the hog was sitting over on the pond levee, just standing there. She was done. She was absolutely done. And when the dogs, we just sit there and watched them. And them dogs, they just worked their way across that pond, swimming, winding it. They went right over to it. And we dumped the bulldogs on the ground and run around. And the hounds was coming from the water, and the bulldogs were coming from the levee.
Yeah.
And we got her. But that'll just tell you that was the craziest thing as far as a hog. She comes straight back down her tracks. I mean, she run a straight line out of this property, went across a road, and I mean 3 or 4 miles straight line, just went off of this property and turned around and come straight back.
Gosh, damn. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what a hog will do. I mean, is that the craziest thing you've seen a hog do?
Yeah, as far as coming straight down like that. We were hunting that same place back a couple months ago, and we run a hog the same way. These hogs cross. They use the same crossing on this gravel road. So if people would go with me and sit at this crossing, they could turn loose on a hog. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we run a hog, same deal. Went over there, but he didn't come back. He stayed in that swamp. But it was a creek in that swamp that was flowing pretty fast, and them dogs would be baying on the side of that creek. We'd get up there with them bulldogs. And then he would like break and come to us, and then the dog would just shut up. And we were like, man, what is he doing? What is he doing? Well, they finally bait him again up on top. And we walked over there, sent the bulldogs. The hog come breaking out. It was so thick, they heard the bulldogs going in. And he come breaking out. And he hit that. He run straight away from us, and the dogs kind of went to that creek. And I said, man, what are they doing? Well, here come the dogs right back, just running wide open, right back up the creek to us. And I'm like, there's no hog. I've been standing here, watching. There's no hog. And the Domino dog, he don't bark very much. But when he's barking, he's up on it. And he barks behind me, down in the creek. What that hog was doing, he was getting down in that creek. And he was drifting down. And then he'd come back, down 100 yards. And then he'd come back up. Get back up on top. That was pretty crazy. We ended up not catching that hog because that's the only 2 dogs we had that day. And we ended up putting about 33 miles on him, and we ended up not catching him. The dogs wasn't in just their top shape. and he just outplayed us that day. We should have caught him, though, bait him 5 or 6 times. Bulldogs just failed on that, but we should have caught him. But he just outdid us that day.
No, man, I can relate. It just happened to us 2 weekends ago. Yeah, 2 weekends ago. Not last weekend, but the weekend before, man. I relate 100%. I watched it happen. The hog, and I told the gentleman I was with, I said, hey, just leave that newt. I had newt down on the ground, just my newt dog, which is my Cajun Plott cross. He's just a little over 2 years old. And, man, he's bayed hogs in the middle of the river. And this time, this is like our third hog that we've watched swim. Like, we'll go out there and grab him, whatnot. And I told him, I said, no, don't grab this one. Let that fucking hog go. Let's see what this dog does. So the first time that hog comes out, hits the water, drifts down a little bit, like you say, comes back up on land. Well, Newt went out and he tracked it that first time. Second time, hog comes out, and I'm not saying tracked. Like, he must have been winding it or something. I don't fucking know.
Right.
But the second... Yeah. So the second time, I'm sitting there, I'm like, gosh, damn, that motherfucker's swimming a little far. So I'm debating on starting the boat, and I don't. That hog, man, hogs are fucking smart. People don't realize it. And they don't give their dogs enough credit either on how well a dog will stay with the hog to a certain extent. You got to remember that hog lives out there 24/7. Your dog might be out there 12 hours a week maximum. So I think your dogs are doing pretty good if they're doing, keeping up with them just a little bit. And so that fucking hog comes out again. Newt's staying on it. And, I mean, this time he drifted a little bit further than that hog. And he caught wind and come back. And I'm like, fuck. So I go ahead and fire up the boat. And I don't know if this is my mistake or not, because they ended up going around a bend. And I was like, fuck, I can't see him. And he was back on the bank again. Most people would have done... By the way, if nobody's seen this hog swim in the river, I swear to you, they would have toned or shocked their dog. Because they would have thought it was just bank running. But I know my dog better than that. So the third time I finally fire up my boat and I go down there, I see this hog. This hog's 3/4 of the way across the water. Newt just hit the water. And we're talking pretty wide rivers down here. I mean... It's not like he's fucking only 10 feet behind this hog. He's yards, maybe 30, 40 yards behind this hog. So I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to cut this hog off. My dumb ass rolls up with the boat. I pull up, I cut the hog off like 3/4 of the way. The hog turns around, goes back to the bank. Well, my newt dog swam all the way across. Believe it or not, I said, fuck it, man. Gosh damn it, I was pissed. So I went back to the other side of the river and I was letting him figure it out. Sure as shit, this motherfucker gets right back. He swims all the way back across that river. That hog must have squatted or something. I have no idea. But that hog just sat down. And Newt's like, yo, he's still talking. I'm like, you motherfucker, I was pissed. But I was letting him do his thing because I know there was a hog there. And that hog wasn't even bait up 37 feet on a Garmin. Newt got up in there, yo, started talking to that hog. I was like, gosh damn, this dog. Even though he did overshot the hog, he fucking ended up figuring it out. But I don't know if I messed it up because I might have been there because he swam right beside the boat. He had no interest in getting back in that boat. And I mean, right beside the boat is in he touched that fucking boat and bayed that hog 30-some feet away based off the Garmin's distance. And we caught the hog. So, people don't give hogs enough credit, is what I'm saying. They'll fucking take a dog through some shit.
I got a good one right here.
Let's hear it. Shit, come on. Keep them coming, brother. Shit.
I'm telling you, man, a hog is so smart. When you started talking about how smart hogs was, the story started popping up. But, like I said, when I first started out hunting, anybody, you go with whoever you can, you do whatever you can do to hunt certain spots. You know what I'm saying? If you know a spot's got hogs, you're like, man, I'll do whatever if you let me go. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll go with you. Anyways, these guys that had these hogs on there, on this place, they were wanting to shoot them with thermals, right? They were just hell bent on that. They wanted to shoot them with thermals. Well, they were like, we're going to go shoot them with the thermals, but we'll let you try your dogs after. Now I'll just say, man, screw, no, y'all just go ahead. But then that's not how it was. I was like, yeah, man, I'll go. I just want to get my dogs on hogs. You know what I mean? So I went with them. All I had was I had 2 young bulldogs that didn't know squat. And I had my TJ dog that's off Mr. Mike stuff. And, a young, red bone bird dog cross jip. And, she didn't know much either, but she'd run whatever the other dogs, she was a me too, where she'd run whatever the other dogs was running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
she'd be up at the front, but she didn't matter. She'd tree a squirrel, tree a coon, run a deer, bay a hog, whatever. Anyways, that's the 2 dogs I had. But I knew the TJ dog, I didn't need nothing else. That's all I needed. You know what I mean? That's all I needed to kill them hogs in there that night. So I went with them guys, but they had their thermals. They were like, you stay in the truck. We're going to go out here and set up. Well, I'm in the truck 2 hours later, man. They're knocking on the window. I don't want to sleep. I fall asleep easy as anybody. I don't want to sleep in the truck. They're knocking on the window. And they're like, pigs didn't come in. And my uncle was there with them. My uncle was he is a top-notch hunter as far as a killer. Man, he can go in and kill what, you know what I mean? He can sneak in and kill some stuff. But, he was like, the wind was wrong. He come over and told me, he said, hey, the wind was wrong. Them pigs, he said, I guarantee them pigs are out there. He said, but these guys over here don't believe it. The other thermal guys left. So just my uncle and the guy who owns the land, all them other thermal guys, they just left. They're like, ain't no pigs out there. They didn't come. So I pull up down there. And this is before I know anything about a rig dog, anything like that. TJ wouldn't rig, but he'd stick his nose. When he smelled the hog riding with the four, he'd put his nose straight in the air. I mean, like he was looking at the stars. He'd put his nose straight in the air. And I knew he smelled them hogs when I seen him do that. And I turned him loose. He didn't say a word on the ground. He went 300 yards from that camera, wherever they had the hogs coming in. You know, no hogs showed up. The thermal guy said there wasn't no hogs there. 300 yards from that camera, he bayed a wad in their bed. He didn't say a word. He went straight to him and bayed him. He fell bay. When I heard him open up, I told him, I said, he's bayed. And that's what I'm getting at. Them hogs smelt them people. And they didn't come out there. You know what I mean? They didn't come out. Even though they were 300 yards away, they smelt them folks. And they was not going to come out. A hog can smell. Man, a hog can smell like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
They can smell.
You are not wrong. You're not. I mean, people, they don't give enough credit to these hogs, man.
They can smell. They can smell. But we end up catching the biggest hog I ever caught for a while right there. End up catching the sow. Sent the bulldogs in there. They caught her on the butt, and TJ caught her on the ear. When he was younger, he thought he was a bulldog. When another dog got there, he caught on the ear, and she was 327 pounds. And he caught her on the ear, and we killed her. And then he relayed, him and that little jip relayed not 150 yards behind us and bait a humongous boar. He took out the bull with him, and we didn't get to kill him. We didn't have nothing to catch him with. And tore old poor TJ up pretty good too.
Oh, damn.
But that's the foundation of my hog dogs, the TJ dog that come from Bayou Cajun.
Do you have any other bitches by Bayou Cajun at all, or Mr. Mike?
Yeah, not from him, but I got a Bayou Cajun Hicks female. She's bred to my TJ dog right now.
Get with me. Unless you're keeping them all, get with me, for real.
And I didn't want to breed this jip because having her, I'll tell you the story on her. I got her from a guy. She's 2 years old, been in a pen all her life. He showed her a cage coon or something like that. And she come in heat as soon as I got her, and I was like, man, I don't think I need to breed this thing. But TJ's old, and I was like, well, I'll do it anyways. And I did it, and she's come out of heat. I ain't hunted her. I took her last weekend for her first time ever. Never seen a hog. We caught 3 sows in a row. She was on all 3 of them. And then we bait a monster boar hog, and she got cut down.
What?
And but still bayed. I mean, she got a 6 or 8 inch cut down her ribs and was still bayed when we got there and got in there and broke the hog out and the hog run for another 2 hours before he bayed again, and she run the whole time, cut up like that. That's your first time ever hog hunting ever.
Dude, them fucking Bayou Cajuns, man, there ain't nothing like them.
I'm telling you, I might make
you.
a bunch of people go beat Mr. Mike's door down and look asking for a pup, but I'm looking for hog dogs. That's where I'm going.
Oh yeah, no, people trust me, man. Oh, how do you get a hold of Mr. Mike? Man? I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen to this fucking podcast. Figure it out, because I'm gonna tell you right now. My buddy pointed me in the right direction. I'm glad he did. But at the same time, I lost 3 Bayou Cajun Plott Hounds in less than a month. I mean,
I'm still trying to out myself. You know, I got that male dog from a guy up here, but it come from him. It come from Mr. Mike, and it was straight off his flash dog. And Joe Ramicus, his female Ramicus, and man, this dog's been a phenomenal dog. I've talked to Mr. Mike a couple times over the phone, but not very much. I wish he could have hunted with this dog. You know, I hate to brag on my dog, but my granddaddy told me, he said, son, you better brag on your dogs, ain't nobody else. But this dog was he was pretty nice hog dog. He was pretty nice. I just wish Mr. Mike could have hunted with him, and maybe some people would have stuck some more jips to him, because he was phenomenal, man. He done some great things. He embarrassed a lot of dogs.
dude, I know, man. I'm telling you, just
his days are up now. They've been over for a while, but man, he was a phenomenal dog. I get teared up thinking about it. That I can't hunt him no more, but he can still go. But he's just so crippled in the back end. But man, he was a phenomenal dog, and that's what got me stuck on the Plott Hound breed itself. You know, he's the pit bull of the hound. You know, they're the pit bull of the hounds. The Plott are. You know what I mean?
so
they have the heart, the tenacity. You know, they're just determined to satisfy you. And then there's sorry ones. Hey, there's sorry ones in every breed. But man, they're just awesome dogs. You know, when I had some 4-month-old pups out of him one time, and showed them a cage coon. When they went inside the cage and pulled the coon out, I knew I liked what I had.
So in your comparison, let's talk about that. Running hounds, real quick. We'll touch base on it. Running hounds, or would you prefer your Plotts on hogs?
My Plotts, every day of the week.
And you have some reputable running hounds, right?
Yes, I have a hound myself that is a phenomenal deer dog. I've won money hunts with him. But I mean, if I'm on deer hunt, that's why I'm going to use running dogs. If I'm hog hunting, if I'm catching game with my dogs, if I'm catching it, I'm running my Plott dogs. So, man, running hounds are great. They're great. There's great dogs in every breed. Like I said, they're a great addition to packs and stuff like that. But I'm not going to tell somebody to go get a pack of fox hounds, and try to hog hunt them. You know what I mean? They're bred to, if you want to run fox, coyote, and deer, you need to go get a running walker. They're the best. As far as running stuff like that.
So I mean, let's cover it real quick. So you're saying a Plott hound is most definitely going to be better on hogs than any type of that running stock that you're messing with, or? Yeah,
man. They're not going to have the nose. If I had, like, I got some greedy ones. I've got greedy ones that bay hogs and stuff like that. I do have some greedy ones. They'll kill coyotes. They run to catch. As soon as they get close enough to the coyote, they can put their mouth on it. They are. But I would catch way fewer hogs if I had just running dogs, because they do not have the nose. Where I hunt and the way I hunt, you got to be able to trail up a cold, an old track. I'm not going to ride around all day and look for some fresh sign to put you on. I'm going to pull up to a bottom where I know there's a hog, and I'm going to kick you out, and you got to go find me a hog. That's just how I hunt.
And that's where the Plotts come in best.
Yeah. What I've seen, we've hunted a running dog in the same area last weekend, and the running dog is a phenomenal running dog. Now, this dog is probably the best. He's not mine. I don't own him. I'm not talking bad about him. I don't own this dog. I'm hunting for a fella. I'm not going to tell who, but I'm hunting for a fella. He is a phenomenal running dog. He's probably going to be the best full running walker that you can get for a hog dog. He ain't scared of a bad hog. He's good, but he just does not have the nose that the Plotts have. We cast this dog. He went, I'm not going to lie to you, he went like 1.57, something like that, a little over a mile and a half, just straight line cast. This Walker dog did. Made a big loop, come back 3 hours later or whatever he did. Never jumped nothing. Never nothing. All right, when he come back, we put the Plott dog down, turned him loose. He made this, not the same big loop, but he went on the right side of the road. The other dog, he hit a track and come right through where that dog went and trailed that track up, went all the way in, went all the way in there and fell bait, and he bait him for probably 15 minutes, and that hog just wanted to break and run. He broke and run, and we sent the running dog to him and another Plott dog to him, and they shut him down, and then we went in there and caught him. But they just don't. The running dogs are not going to have that nose that Plott hound has.
Man, I love to hear that. But I'm not against a running dog at all. I'm just curious. I'm trying to learn as well. With all the guests that I got, I want to know as well. I mean, man, I've talked to some people, and I'm not unintelligent when it comes to dogs. Period. There's no fucking sugarcoating it. I'm not being cocky. I'm not being conceited. I'm not being this piece of shit. I know a lot more about dogs than 90% of people that I talk to. There's no bullshit. It's just truth. I've done my research. So when you say that, I have ignorance that plays a factor from other individuals that have zero knowledge, but they think they have a running hound. And exactly what, and we get into the topic, conversations, talking back and forth, Plott and the nose and the running over and blah, 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 like exactly like you and I are talking. And I explain these same exact stories to them. Well, you ain't had the right fucking stock. You just ain't been in it long enough. We're talking to someone, how long you been running dogs?
Man, like I said, I'm still a young guy. I'm 25 years old, but I've been running since you know what I'm saying? And I've been around some people that's competed at a high level and all of it. And, it's you caught a lot of game with their dogs. They passed their knowledge down to me. And, I've done a lot of hunting by myself too. And, learned on, I let the dogs show me, I watch the dogs and I've hunted a lot, man. And I just, I let the dogs teach me,
Yeah, but 25 years old, man, and how you're talking about dogs, if nobody respects that, I got other words I want to say that I just don't even want to use them because I don't want to talk shit. Because they just listening to you, they know you got knowledge. I mean, you have knowledge. You have more knowledge at 25 than most do 40. I mean, there are guys out there, this is the way I say it, there are guys out there that have been hunting for 30 years trying to come close to the same dogs I've got that I've done myself in 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Work on it, man. And there's some people out there that don't want to get no better. They're good with, like I said, it comes to the person, who you are. Some people like mediocre dogs. They're good with that. I'm not. And my dogs though might be mediocre to other people, but I'm just striving. I'm not saying I'm competing with anybody, but I'm just striving for the best as far as, I just know how a good dog's supposed to operate, and I'm striving for that every day.
Well, see, I don't know that. See, and I got to tell you that I don't know. This is what I got to tell you. I don't know what a good dog's supposed to be. I call one of my buddies after every hunt, and I'm like, look, and he's like, look, man, you really don't have that good of dogs. I'm like, I got to hear it every time. And I know that. Because based off of what he tells me. But I go hunt with these other people and they're like, what the fuck? How do you get this shit in 2 years? I'm like, well, because I'm fucking told constantly that I ain't got shit. So I'm fucking freaking out. And he told me last time we went hunting was this past week. And he told me flat out, he said, man, you don't even enjoy hunting anymore. And I'm like, fuck, he's right. He is right. I go out there and I'm pissed off because, like, if my dogs ain't fucking bait up after a, 800-yard race, I'm freaking the fuck out. Like,
hey, me too. I'm hard to hunt with. I'm hard to hunt with, man. I mean, I look at these sun guns every day in this kennel. When I go set them on the ground, they need to be like a well-oiled machine. They need to operate. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna put them in a place to be successful. If it's my, if I go to a spot I don't know, it's my fault. I can't blame them. But if I put them in a place to be successful and they don't operate, I'm not very happy.
Yes, you're right. And I have a pep talk with my dogs every time. I grab fucking Newt Dog by his face. I say, son, I work to fucking feed you all week. You are my fucking hobby, okay? I love you. You ain't going nowhere. But give me fucking 12 hours through this weekend of hard fucking work. That's all I'm asking. That's it.
Right.
Fucking do it. You know what I mean?
If they can't do it, I got another one that's in boot camp it's gonna replace them if they don't come on with it. You know what I mean?
His fucking nephew's doing it, 7 months old, and my I got to give my buddy shit. You breed the best of the best. I mean, what you're saying, I get it. Breed the best of the best, best. You got to have all this blah 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 blah. No, I did that random fucking bullshit. I want to try to have a puppy because I'm not waiting fucking 3 years to start something out of my own stock. Fuck that. I get everybody, oh, you're fucking making rookie mistakes. You're breeding bullshit to bullshit. And no.
Well, I mean, you said hands-on stuff. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying breed good dogs. But the dogs I got right now, I didn't start out that way. Like I said, I wasn't really trying to air my stuff out there, but I bred that TJ dog he got bred out on accident to a German short-haired pointer in my front yard. All right, and that's where one of my best dogs is from. All right, and then he bred that half red bone, half bird dog. That's another one of my best dogs. And then my very best dog is a full Plott Hound. He's just a gray dog, but the guys told me he was off old Brandenburger stuff. But that's old stuff. He could be off something totally different. But I know the dogs he's off of are not even hog dogs. They guard chicken houses. They're Plott Hounds and they guard chicken houses. And they're off of. They're just big game dogs, man. They're just great big old Plott Hounds. And he's a cold trailing son of a gun, but he's a hog dog, and he only really likes to work for me. Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
He's a weird one.
There's nothing wrong with that, but that's what I'm saying. Like the way I compare it, you're talking about that, and I bred this random shit on my yard, and I bought. Man, like if you ever listen to my beginning podcast with just my wife, we spent thousands, over 8,000 on these multiple fucking dogs that were supposed to be at least leave your feet. Not one of them motherfuckers ever ranged out past 200 yards. I can't even, that's on the low side. I traded a $15,000 lab, titled lab. And dude, I've had maybe one dog that might have done something. And, but it's just not what even this 7-month-old is doing. This 7-month-old that I bred on my yard with my 2 years of experience is outperforming all of this shit I spent thousands of dollars on from people all over the United States. And they're like, well, you got scammed by, nope. These people are the same ones y'all see on Facebook every day that y'all follow and swear are God's gift to hog hunting. Yeah, I got some of their stock, and yeah, that's all I got to say. Is this 7-month-old bullshit I bred on my yard is fucking blowing my mind. Is already starting to do shit that I would never expect to be done, especially at his age.
Well, I mean, same thing I did, man. I mean, I didn't want that TJ dog to get killed, before I had some puppies off of him, and I could not find I had some Plott Gyps, but I wasn't going to, they weren't as good as them cross dogs that I had, is what I'm trying to say, them Gyps that I had, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were some mediocre Plott Gyps. They wasn't just good enough to, I might could have bred to them, but I just didn't. That half, red bone, half, bird dog, she was, she would run anything, but she was pretty good at everything she did, She wouldn't go hunting good by herself, but you put another dog with her, man, and she'd out hunt that dog, 10-1. She'd just be out there just bird dogging, just hitting everything she could. And I got a son off of her and the TJ dog, and he's the fastest dog I got. And like I said, he don't really do good when you put him down on the ground by himself, but you put old Big Marmaduke down, and then they're a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They are a team. And that's just how I trained him. I cannot blame him for that. I trained old TJ was already baying hogs, but I hunted him by himself every time that's all I had. So Domino, the way he got trained was he run alongside of old Marmaduke. I got them about the same time. They were puppies. I let them grow up together, and they they trained each other. You know what I mean? They run whatever and was just wild. And they bait a hog one time. We caught it with a bulldog, and they've been hooked ever since.
Yeah. Well, we'll get off that one. Let's get back into some stories a little bit. We can stay on that all day long. You got any good? Let's hear a funny one. You got a funny one at all?
Man, not really, because I'm always so serious when I'm hunting, to be honest.
I know, I'm the same fucking way, dude. It's bad.
I was trying to think. I'm like, man, I'm always so serious. I'm like so tense. You know what I mean? When we're hunting, I'm like, listen for that locate. You know what I mean? Man, I got a story. It's not really funny, but I want to tell it about my TJ dog.
Yeah,
I hate to brag.
tell some stories. Come on.
But I want to brag on Mr. Mike too. I don't know Mr. Mike that well, but I know he's done a phenomenal job with them line of dogs he has, and I'm grateful that he's done it, because I've got one off his stuff, and he was just a phenomenal dog, and he might kick the bucket any day now. So, anyways, I got invited to a man. It's supposed to have been just a hog zoo. It's supposed to be hogs everywhere. And we went. We took 18 dogs. Oh, that's how many. I don't know how many bulldogs took. We took 18 bay dogs, from cur dogs to hounds to whatever. I took this dog here, this full plot Bayou Cajun male, and a son off of him, which was off of one of them red bone gyps. He was half plot, half red bone. Good dog. He was 2 years old, and I think TJ was going to be about 4. And we hunted that evening. We hunted TJ and one of them other guys hunted, and we bayed a hog, and we killed it. And then TJ and that other gypsy, they relayed, bayed a big hog in a river, and just cut TJ straight down his spine. Like you was finna skin a deer.
Oh,
Cut him straight down his spine. I was like, man, but it was just skin. I was just like, man. So we had to put him up. Couldn't hunt him the rest of the day. We hunted everything else, and so we had them 2 hogs killed. And we hunted all them other dogs. Just hunted that son off of him and that other guy's cur dogs and some of his other hound mixes. And we only killed like 2 hogs that day. Hunted all day long. And we was in hogs. And that Sunday, everybody was like, man, we ain't going. Well, I didn't have no bulldog. We was getting ready to, we got up early that morning. Everybody was asleep. And we was going to pack up and leave that day. Well, TJ was out there standing on the tie out, wagging his tail, standing up. I said, I'm going to take that son gun hunting. They were like, man, we don't care. I'm going to go. They gave me a rifle, and I took him and went right up there around the curb and kicked him out, bayed a hog, shot and killed it. Run up there, and somebody heard my shot. He relayed and was baying again, and I heard their side-by-sides. I said, oh, man. They go into him, I'm like, they gonna break it. And they broke it, and he run that hog for a pretty good ways, and we end up killing it. We ended up killing several hogs just with him that day, but there was one hog that day that stuck out that he stayed after it, and them club members were just like, they had hog dogs, like they were the caretakers of the club, and they had hog dogs. They'd ride their four-wheelers around, bay up hogs and shoot them, you know what I mean? And they were just amazed at how long he stayed after that hog. You know what I'm saying? He never quit, But we killed more hogs that day with that one dog and a gun than we killed, you know what I'm saying, with 18 dogs. And that really stood out to me. And like I said, give all credit to Mr. Mike and that cross right there that they made. And like I said, he was a phenomenal dog, man. But he sure did. We killed more with him that one day than we killed with all 18 dogs all weekend.
That is nuts. That I mean, you're not. That's so badass you tell that story, but I mean I got one relative to it. You know, if Mr. Mike listens to this, by the way, you know, he's about to come back on this again, just for everybody out there. But I mean, he knows this story just as well as I'm sure quite a few other people do. You know, I had my Bayou Cajun Plotts, the three, and one of them I was taking out on hunts, and I've had people privately reach out to landowners. Man, there's no way this guy's only bringing one dog or two dogs to do this, and the landowners have nothing to do with hog hunting. And they're like, well, yeah, they are. And then the landowner will reach out to me, and they're like, hey, we got so-and-so reaching out saying there's no way you're only bringing one or two dogs to do this. I'm like, who is it? And they'll tell me. And yeah, it's those world-famous hog hunters y'all follow that swear are God's gift to hunting. I gotta let, you know, make sure we put that out there. All I gotta say is do y'all's research, man. Do your research on people who hog hunt. Quote-unquote hog hunt.
Man, if I'm going a block of woods, I'm taking you know, or just any woods. I trust my pair of dogs. I hunt a pair of dogs, you know. I'd rather hunt them pair of dogs than any, you know. That's just what I like to do. Now, we would dump the box on a running hog. Now, people friends with me on Snapchat and stuff see we got a lot of dogs on but people don't see they don't see what's not on Snapchat. You know what I mean? You know, we hunt a pair of dogs. You know, a lot of times, you know, we break them up in pairs, but I'd rather hunt a pair of dogs, man, will catch lots of hogs. People don't need to underestimate that.
I know, I agree with what you're saying, you know, because the way I hunt, of course, is I really only drop one usually. Like, I do. This is my hunting style. I drop one dog, and it's majority of the time Newt or Kate. When they strike, I guess they're, oh, you dumped the box. No, I don't. I drop a yellow dog. 9 times out of 10, I drop a fresh yellow dog. I try to get as close relatively I can, and I'll drop a yellow dog. And it just seems to shut down the race. Oh, them Plott hounds, them Plott crossers, they're shit then. If they ain't stopping it, they're shit. They're shit. Come on, shit, because I've hunted with, I think it's like, I say hundreds of people. It's not, that's over-exaggerating, but like 19 different people. I don't know the exact number, but multiple different people have hunted with me. They all tried bringing extra dogs. They tried dropping extra dogs. They tried this, and this. Every comment is the same. Gosh damn, man, your one dog really does do it.
Yep. Man, because you hunt him by himself all the time. I mean, he's going to be twice the dog because he doesn't have to rely on something else up ahead of him or over here or over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has to do it on his own. You know what I mean? And that will build the confidence up in a dog more than anything. Hunt him alone. And the reason I get that hunting alone stuff is from competition coon hunting, you know. If somebody wants to know how a dog should operate, they need to go on a competition coon hunt cast. PKC. They need to go on a PKC cast, Professional Kennel Club, and you'll see how a dog's supposed to operate.
I like that you say that. I do, because, you know, my buddy told me that forever, man. I was bad. I used to load, man, I had 12 tracking collars, and every single fucking one was used. And when I dropped them, I dropped all 12. Man, I could not catch a hog, could not catch a hog. Then I really started, like, dwindling down, you know, going down a little bit more and hunting just fewer and fewer dogs, and just spending more time with, you know, individual to maybe 2 dogs. And, man, I'm telling you, it'll blow your fucking mind, because it's like, wow, this dog really does it on its own. This dog does it on its own. This dog does it on. Then you got 3 dogs that'll do it on their own, and you're like, all right, shit. Now I put these 3 together, and it's game over. I mean, you got 3 different bays going on. You got all sorts of shit going on.
And when you get dogs too many dogs out there that really don't hunt good together, they're really just trying to outdo each other. They're competitive as well. You know, they're just trying to outdo each other, and that's just messing up. You know, so now the catching the hog's not on their mind. They're just like, I just want to beat him. I want to get in front of him. You know what I'm saying? I want to beat him. It's, you know, it takes a team. You know, if you're going to have a bunch of dogs out there, they got to work together. You know, if you're going to hunt a pack, they got to work together and use teamwork and you know, stop that hog. You know, if you're going to hunt just, you know, smaller amount of dogs, it's, you know, not that big a deal. But if you're going to hunt 5, 6 dogs, they need to be 5 or 6 that's going to work good together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I got my biggest follower out of Oklahoma. He's my biggest fan, dude. You know, he tells me, he says, his words are, man, you're such an idiot. You're trying to talk about these dogs and say that. He's my number one fan, by the way, just to make sure everybody's clear with that. Everybody's got dogs that'll do it on their own. If they ain't got dogs that'll do it on their own, they don't have a hog dog. Well, his buddies reached out to me and said he ain't got a fucking single dog that'll catch a hog. So it's just, I don't even acknowledge shit like that, but it's funny when they're sitting there and they degrade. Because trust me, people have reached out to me silently and they've been open on it publicly. And they're like, well, there's no fucking way. You know, meet up, we'll hunt with you, blah. I'm like, all right, let's go. I'll be the first motherfucker to go hunt with you. And, dude, I'm telling you, it never fails. They either pull up wherever we're meeting at and try to bring 4 or 5 dogs, or they go to drop, and I'll be like, yeah, I get it, 2 or 3 dogs. Well, I pull up with 1 dog and my catch dog. That's it. And I'll pull up with those. Well, I'm just bringing more just in case I want to hunt. And then they go to try to cut one out, and they're cutting 3 out. And I'm like, no. We said 1 dog. And, you know, we talk about it. And, like, my buddy taught me that the best, man. He's got 2 of the best 1 dogs I've ever fucking seen. Ever. There's none. Like, I haven't hunted with any of that compared to them. And they're just some cur dogs. You know what I mean? And it was mother and son. And 100% solo, they would just make shit fucking happen, dude. And Newt comes out of the daddy of one of them. My dog comes out of the daddy of one of those 2 dogs that does it solo, which is the son, whatever. And, man, people just don't believe it till they fucking see it. But I'm so hard on them, and like you said, you know, the stress, sitting there and watching them. My buddy made a very valid point. You know, he's like, man, you're not enjoying it anymore. I'm like, you're fucking right. Because every time I enjoy it and I'm not stressed out about catching a hog immediately, we catch 4 or 5 hogs that day. You know, the 2 Fridays ago, I went fucking happy as shit, dude. I was like, oh yeah, I was all by myself, just having a great time. I caught 5 fucking hogs between 3 dogs. And one of my dogs was off puppies for 2 days. And I was just the happiest guy. You know, I was just having a fucking good time. I wasn't stressed if they caught anything. I wasn't there to impress anybody. I was just by myself. I didn't give a shit. I cut them out everywhere. You know what I mean?
I've noticed when I have them bad hunts and I get mad at myself and mad at my dogs is when it's real dry and it's summertime and just bad conditions. I'm just like, all right, just calm down. It's only a dog. He's not perfect. You know what I mean? It's dry. It ain't rained in a month and it's 100 degrees outside. He's not perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah. When the smell, they're better. They look like $1 million.
Yeah. Do you believe that I do 100% before I even say this. Do you believe the dog will feed off of you?
Yeah, 100%, man. If you're good to that dog, he'll be good to you.
Yeah, but I mean, as in, like, if you go out with like oh shit. So I've noticed a couple times I'm like, oh man, I got to kind of impress these people that I'm around. And then I go to cut them out and they like jump off the front of the boat and then look at me. I've had that happen. I'm not going to lie.
A dog will make a liar out of you before anything. I mean, before quick get ready. Yeah, man, a dog will, you're like, yeah, this dog's fixing to do it. I'm in front of these folks. He's going to go in here and slam one. And then he's like, man, I don't want a hog hunt today. I don't really feel it. That TJ dog, the one I was bragging on earlier, he was the world's worst. He's embarrassed me lots of times. I've had to drag him out from under the truck several times. He'd go crawling up under the truck. But when he was on, fella. He was hard to deal with. But when he wasn't, he might as well go home.
Yeah, same kind of story like you were saying. I cut mine out the box and he just like kind of ran around I said, fuck that shit. My go-to is I put the lead on him and I put my other dogs up. I put a lead on him. I'm telling you, multiple people witnessed this in East Texas. And I put a lead on him and I walked him out and he finally figured out, oh shit, Dad's not fucking playing with me. Cause I just got like immediately frustrated. Right. And I walked him and I just heard, yo, I was like, oh, there's a hog here. Cut him out. Man, them motherfuckers would not leave me alone anymore. They were like, hey, you need to cut that cold nose dog. I said, he ain't that fucking cold nose. He just knew that I was a pissed motherfucker. Trust me,
right.
He knew it.
Yeah, and that's how I turn. That's how I hunt mine. You know, a lot of people pull up there and dump them out of the box, and I've been guilty of that. And I do that a lot in February. And the reason I say February because it's just kind of a different style of hunting we do in the month of February. But I like to, so when I hunt my pair, I get them down, put them on a lead, and I walk them up there and unsnap them, you know, and then they go, you know. That's just from the competition coon hunt, you know.
Yeah.
Dogs kick dirt in the face when you unsnap them.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. You got anything else you want to cover? I mean, I got a couple more questions I got to ask you, but if you got anything else.
Man, I'm good. I think we've covered a pretty good bit. We covered a pretty good bit. Had a good time, but whatever you want to ask, brother, go ahead.
Man, I got to say, before we get off here, 25 years old, you're more knowledgeable than a lot of people I've talked to. So don't let that bullshit fool you. Just like I tell people, man, there's people that been hog hunting or running dogs, period, for 20, 30 years trying to get fucking half of what I've got. So they can talk shit all day long, you know, right. Regardless of age or anything.
I don't claim to be a hog hunter. I just claim to be a houndsman, and I feel like I am because I dedicate most of my time to my hounds.
Yeah. The way you say that, you know, I respect it. And I'm not trying to be conceited by the way I say that, the way I put it my way, but it's a disgrace for people to sit there and talk all this shit, and then they actually come and hunt with you, and they're like, man, you're not that bad of a guy. You know, take your time, go meet the person before you start talking shit. And
I used to be the world's worst about doing it on Facebook, man. I'll go ahead and own up to it, you know. I used to think everybody should have one style of dog, and that's the one I was hunting. That ain't true. You know what I mean? It's not true. They are to hunt what suits them, what makes them happy, and what does best in their terrain, and don't matter what anybody else thinks.
Yep. No, I agree, man. I do. I think this conversation's been really, really good, really, really informative. Regardless of, man, age don't play a factor, man. I've talked to people that are supposedly these well-known hog hunters that don't have a quarter of the knowledge that you just stated in this whole conversation. But unfortunately, those old-timers will never, ever, ever give you credit for that, by the way. They just won't. There's a few that will, man. They've reached out to me, and they're like, gosh, damn, dude, your little bit of time, you know some shit. But, you know,
There's just a guy I didn't mention. He's passed away and gone now, but maybe not a lot of people listening to this will know him. But his name was Coach Robbie Bogue, and he was a fox hunter. He run. You know, he was really, really dominant in the coyote hunts and stuff like that, and outside field trials. And he taught me a lot. And he passed down a lot of knowledge to me, and I thank him for that as well.
That's very respected, man. I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, we got a couple more questions I'd like to cover. Number one is your most memorable hunt. The one that it don't like I said, I'm sure it was probably that coon hunt, but something that meant the most to you sentimentally.
Man, the hunt that meant to me the most. Man, probably, baying my first hog with, that's just, I mean, like I said, I love that coon hunting and stuff, but this hog hunt is just something different. And baying my first hog, with a dog that really pumped me up. It was with this TJ dog, man. Like I said, I know it wasn't. I take that lie back, man. It was with the rebel dog, the blackmouth cur. The blackmouth cur. I forget all about him, but he was really a pretty good dog, man. He was one-eyed and bobtail, but he was a pretty good little dog. Just working hard to make up. I was going to school, and I had a little construction job I do in the evenings and on the weekends, and got me a little bit of money and bought him, and he wasn't nothing but like a blood trail dog, I'm pretty sure, with the guy I got him from. I think he let him bay a hog in a pen or something. And then, I just, remember we was talking about it in high school. I think I was in about 9th or 10th grade, and me and some buddies been seeing it on Facebook, hog hunting. I got this little dog, and we trained him hard and hunted him hard, and we all went one day. because they seen some hogs duck hunting, and we went the next day and caught a hog with that dog, and I can barely remember it, but that was, I can as far as all the little details, but that's gonna stick with me forever as far as that right there. My buddies, also all witnessing that first hog getting caught with that dog.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is. My story comes the same exact way as yours. Was my first one. Of course, it was with my wife, and it was our first own hog together. Man, it was a cluster fuck. God damn, we acted like we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Actually, as a matter of fact, first hog we ever caught together, my wife actually legged it. She jumped out the boat. I was like, we can get fucking closer, and she jumped out and swam to the hog. But yeah, that's just how she is. She ain't letting her dogs get fucked up. And
that hog story's kind of coming back to me. That hog, I'm talking about the first one we ever caught. Me and my buddies, actually, we didn't even get to leg it. We didn't, man. We were stupid. We didn't know. We turned loose by that duck blind where they seen them hogs. Turned loose that cur dog and I had a pit bull jip with me. Like I said, we hunted on foot. I think one guy had a little two-wheel drive four-wheeler right there, a little 250 Honda or something like that. And we all piled up on it and got over there. But anyways, they run like 0.6 of a mile over there and caught that hog. When we got over there was another guy that had just started hog hunting too, and he was an older guy. And he was sitting there with our hog caught, that blackmouth cur, that bulldog, and his bulldog was sitting there chewing on it in the creek. And we jumped down there and helped him catch it, but help him get it out. But that was it. It was still pretty cool. I wasn't mad about it because I was still contemplating if I was going to be a hog hunter or not.
Man, we got to hunt together, man. We're not going to catch shit because if you stress out as bad as I do, our dogs are going to be fucked up.
Oh man, my girlfriend will tell you, man, I get stressed out bad, man. She's like, just don't mess with him. Just let him get over it. Just let him get over it.
Dude, I don't talk to any, I'll be with the whole group of people. I'm telling you, that Garmin does not come from in front of my... You ever seen a fucking nerdy kid that can't put his fucking phone down or his games? You give me a Garmin and you put it in my hand, even the picture of me holding my son. I'm like, son, look, I'm talking to him. This motherfucker, he's only fucking 2 weeks old, and I'm like, look, this is how we know this is going on, that. Everybody's like, man, just put that fucking Garmin down, let them dogs... I'm like, no. And because I can tell what they're doing already. I'll tell you when they're about to open up. I'll predict every fucking second of that hunt. I'll be like, look, they're about to open up. And then it'll be, within a minute and a half. Boom! I'll be like, I fucking told you there's a hog. And it blows people's minds. But I'm just so addicted to this fucking shit, man. I've never done drugs. But if I could if I could make it say, hey, this is fucking a high. This is my high. There's nothing that can top it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. I don't know how long I'll have a passion for it. As far as when I get older, when I get up in age. But I believe I'll do it for as long as I can. I just love it, and I love trying to make a dog that they can go grub up a track and find that big old mean hog and stop him and bang him and let me go in there and catch him with a bulldog, I just love it.
Yeah.
I just...
Well, I think every listener already knows the answer to this, but what is your favorite dog of all time?
Man, it's probably going to shock you.
Oh, let's hear it then.
It's probably going to shock you. A red bone coon now is probably my favorite dog ever.
Oh, shit. I was thinking it was that Thai dog.
You talking about what dog is my favorite dog or what breed of dog? I'm sorry, I might have misunderstood.
Yeah, favorite dog of all time. You're the one you've owned.
Yeah, the TJ dog. Like I said, I've had a lot of good. Yeah. I've had a lot of good dogs. I've had a good red bone coon dog, and I had good Walker dog, coon dog. But this dog stands out to me the most because we kind of trained each other. You know what I'm saying? I was in high school and I knew how a dog was supposed to operate, as far as from competition coon hunting, how you're supposed to get it done quick. And, we're at work. We're not playing. And, he was that type of dog, he'd get it done. And he was just a good one. And, all credit to Mr. Mike and them or whoever made that cross. It come from Mr. Mike's stuff. I know, straight out of Bayou Cajun Plott and Grandma gets Ann. That's the cross. And, I just wish more people got to hunt with him. More Plott people. I wish more Plott people would have got to hunt with him because a lot more jets would have been bred to him.
Well, okay, so we covered that, but we're going to go a little deeper because I just want to know, what's that bitch bred from? Who's her? What's she out of?
She is out of a male dog that's out of Flash and a Hicks female. She is out of a male dog out of Flash. I got my paper folder right here close if I can find it. But yeah, she's out of a male dog that's out of Flash. So I got her crossed back to a dog, TJ dog is straight out of Flash. So it should pop. That's supposed to be what you want to do right there.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I'm fucking. Well, let me know about that. I'll for real. If you got anything available, man, let me know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like getting them out. I don't sell puppies, but I put them in homes that folks hunt them and tell me that, hey man, this dog, this cross ain't no counter. Hey man, this sucker right here, you need to do this again.
Yeah, for sure. I'll buy the motherfucker. I don't care when it comes to somebody. I'm trying to get some Bayou Cajun and some Shamrock.
That's supposed to be the stuff too. Who's the guy? I'm friends with him on Snapchat. Who's the guy that's Wesley? I'm friends with some Wesley.
Wesley Wiley.
I think that's right. He's got this stuff right there.
Yeah, majority of his shit comes. Mike and Mike's son Travis. Travis is, man, he's an honest person, and I like those guys. I had Wesley Wiley on this podcast. And,
sweet.
Yeah, you might want to listen to it. He fucking, trust me, we talk. Mike's my fucking dude, man. I gotta, like, this,
much, but I like him. I look up to him and what he's done for people need to thank him. He has a great line of Plott dogs. He has helped he is helping the Plott breed out. You ought to want more dogs like Mike's got. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen to the podcast. I'm for real with Mike and I don't know how many of mine you've necessarily listened to, but Mr. Mike stopped me in the middle of the podcast and says, "Hey, how do you know all this about me?"
I've listened to every podcast that Mr. Mike's in on everything, and he's I remember that. That was pretty funny. He was like, "Hey man, how do you know that?"
Yeah. He did. He had to stop me and ask me that, man. And I get so many people that message me, and they're like, "All right, Alan, you might only have 2 years, but I got respect for you because you did some research." I was like, you damn fucking right I did. Man, I did. The first good dog I ever hunted with was with a Bayou Cajun Plott Hound out of Showtime in Auburn. That was the first time I ever hog hunted. Them motherfuckers left and they never came back. Them dogs go out, they fucking hunt. You do not have to worry about them dogs. Dude, we've picked them up in the middle of... I picked up the mama of my main dog, my newt dog, the mom. She's full Plott Hound out of Bayou Cajun, and her name's Lady. I picked her up in the middle of fucking Beaumont, Texas, a literal city in Texas, miles away from where we were. Miles. And we happened to just drive by in the middle of town, and I had my Garmin because I was going to pick up my newt dog, and we happened to magically pick her up. I was like, oh, fuck, go get her. She's running down the middle of a fucking street. I was like, oh, my goodness. So, them dogs get going and hunt.
Man, I love a cold trailing track dog, but I love an ambush-style dog that'll just go hunting, man, and run up on a piece of game. You ain't got to worry, but, you get a dog that just ambushes and go in there and runs up on a piece of game. You ain't got to worry about trailing him. He done found him.
My buddy always said, like, when we pulled up that night, this is how well my wife knows that dog. When we pulled up, she said, yeah, y'all ain't coming home tonight. I was like, yeah, Lady's loaded up. And when we put Lady in New, or Lady in K, or, like, Lady with any of her puppies, dude, you ain't fucking, like, you gotta go to a hog, maybe shoot it. If my buddy likes to shoot hogs, but I don't shoot any hogs, period, none. Or catch it, and then guess what? Lady's hunting, like, he has to either fucking be on that collar making sure she stays by his side, or you're gonna be out there all night long. You ain't got no options.
That's us, man. I have that Marmaduke dog I'm talking about. if you're hunting in the week, during the week, and you want to go to work next morning, don't take him if you're going to be in hogs, because as soon as you leg it, I mean, he's relaying, you know.
Yeah.
He's relaying. So you want to hunt during the week, just leave him at home.
Yeah. I used to be that 7 day a week. Man, my wife tells the first year we hunted, I don't know if there's a day we missed 7 days a week, holidays and everything included, by the way. We did not miss shit when it come to running dogs. Then my dogs actually started working and catching hogs, and it was like, oh, fuck. I can't go on work nights anymore because
right.
I might be out till even past work. My wife carried a dog on her shoulders down railroad tracks one time. She was on the north side. I was dealing with a dog on the south end of the property, and it was 1.2 miles. She carried that dog out on her shoulders. I mean, it's just, you never know.
Some dogs need hunted a lot. You know, some people are like, man, I need to rest my dogs. You know, there's some dogs out there that you can lay them up and then you take them and they just perform like they did when they were in good shape. But most dogs, from my experience, you know, you need to keep them in rhythm, and they need to be repetition, and they keep them clicking. You know what I'm saying? You know, you keep them clicking. You know, like I was trying to hunt one time, like once or twice during the week, and then both days on the weekend, and I haven't been. I've been just hunting Saturday and Sunday. But I've been hunting all day Saturday and Sunday. And, you know, I'm not saying my dogs are in top shape, but they're getting on the Garmin. They're getting 30 to 40 miles. You know, every time I take them. So if they're getting 80 miles a weekend, I mean that's pretty good. You get 60 miles a week on a dog, I mean he'd be in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I mean, dog traveling 60 miles a week. I mean, you ain't gotta put no more miles on him than that. But some dogs just have to be hunted down. You know what I'm saying, to perform right.
Yes, sir.
And there's some out there you can lay them up for 3 months and take them out there and they'll bay everyone in the woods. But mine, I don't have that pleasure. You got to hunt them down for them to be right. You got to keep them on their toes.
Yeah. Because if not, they start to get trashy. My male dog does that. Every Friday, when I take him out Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, you know, Thursday I can expect to have some false rigging. Like, bitch, I know you're fucking lying to me. But if I drop him and he's 100% set on what he's rigging, man, it's game over quick. Very quick. But come Sunday morning, Sunday evening, oh, he's done for. I mean, we got 4 days, probably 45 miles an hour, 45 miles through the weekend. Yeah, he's hurting. That's pretty good. You know, everybody's like, oh, bullshit. Yeah, he does. I mean, I've days he's put 23 miles on for a day, and then I've continued to hunt him. But I mean, he's averaging 12 to 12.3 miles a day.
Right.
So you do that in 4 days. That's a fucking lot.
Oh, yeah, man. And like I said, and my big Marmaduke dog, I mean, you can't see him, but I'm trying to describe him to you. He's a big Plott Hound. I mean, a big Plott Hound. The Domino dog, he's athletic made. He's out of the TJ dog. He's super athletic made. And when that sun gun gets running all day, you know, the next morning he's bouncing right back up at the pen. Old Marmaduke might be a little sore because he's 100, you know, he's 75 pounds. You know what I'm trying to say? He's a big old dog. You know, he's going to be close to 75 pounds. You know, he's a great big old dog. So it's a little harder on him to run like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's got good speed to him. He's a big old dog, but he's got good speed to him, and he does good for me. But you can tell the difference on them big bone dogs than you can them tighter, smaller frame dogs.
Yeah. Well, shit, man, that's about all I got. We're gonna get you posted up, and please share it, pass it around to all your buddies, let them listen in. I think what you and I talked about today, man, was a lot of good fucking knowledge. A lot. I liked it. I enjoyed the whole conversation. It was great, man.
I appreciate you letting me come on, man. It means a lot.
Yes, sir. We're gonna get you back on here. Don't worry about that.
Okay, brother. Okay, brother. We'll go hunting together and we'll have some more to talk about.
Oh yeah, trust me. I plan on making my rounds next year, and I'm gonna try to hit up everybody. Like, I know, including weekdays, I'm gonna try to get with everybody, and we're gonna do in-person podcasts, talk about dogs, talk shit to each other. Hey man, your dog wasn't worth a fuck. You know, shit like that.
Yeah, man. I enjoy that kind of stuff. And when people don't get upset about it, you know, like, look, man, we're just talking trash. We're just talking crap. That's all it is, you know.
Yeah, we got a big one coming this weekend. We got some of us old boys getting together. It's gonna be some. I got some mics and everything ready to just fucking bash on each other. So just be ready to hear the shit talking.
Get it, brother. Get it.
All right, man.
Good thing going on.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Please share it and let all your friends know to listen to it.
All right, man. Holler.
All right, later. Thank y'all listening again, man. I can't thank y'all enough for where we're at. I just don't have nothing else to say to anybody, man. I'm just so grateful for where we're at in this podcast, man. It's spreading straight unity. Like I said, man, we gained a little bit of financial from it, so we went ahead and turned around and made it, you know, go back out to our followers. You know, I think that's saying something. We don't give a damn about the money. Actually, we had to put in a little bit towards the collar. But, you know, guess what? We're willing to do it for our followers and our listeners. Thank y'all.